Hold on. Hold on, I'm having problems. I hate when this shit happens. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Is there extra? No. Can you hear me now? No? Shitty. Try clicking back on. Hello? Hello? God damn.
Yeah.
Can you hear me yet or no? No? Fucking A. Why is it doing this? What is going on? Voice settings. Hello? My testing is not testing. Fucking A. Can you hear me yet? Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Do you hear me yet?
Yeah, I hear ya.
Oh, perfect.
I hear ya.
Oh, I can hear you. Perfect. I could hear you the whole time. I went on Discord. It's like your mic's not synced up. I'm like, what? So I was trying to figure it out. So apparently got it down. So how's life going for you, my brother?
Well, sorry, one more time.
I said, how's life going for you?
I'm just gonna.
Can you
I
hear?
just came back from vacation last week. Well,
Hell,
I spent like 4 days off, four days away, and the rest of the month at home. So pretty much.
hell yeah, that's a good day. Obviously, you know
We went.
we just had America
Yeah.
Day here, so everybody was on vacation the last week here too, for the 4th of July.
Yeah, I usually follow like the Stephen Colbert and all those shows, like the weekly shit, and John Oliver or whatever. But I mean, it's hard to it's hard to keep up, difficult to unpack what really matters. It's I mean, just one third after the other, right? So
It's been
I
like
mean,
that.
not all bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I get ready with you in the sense. Ooh, hey,
You wanna know where it came from?
behind you. I
Your
know.
room.
I know, Toots. I know.
How? All I did the covers.
Go.
How dare you know where I was hiding?
Either way, my daughter always tries to scare me. She always gets mad because she can't. But yeah, the news is it's crazy because every day is another like there's not really ever days we have like a good day. Like we're like, oh, we solved this mystery or solved this. You know, it's kind of just weird. It's always so negative every fucking day. So I kind of understand why
Yeah.
people
So
take breaks.
you know the thing is, I'm a, like I studied behavioral sciences, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm wondering is, I studied behavioral sciences. So what I'm wondering is, and I also know a bit about organizations. I mean, I got a degree in work life sciences,
Yep.
and so behavior is like a hobby of mine, right?
Yep.
And if you take away, I've watched like hundreds of videos, so this is not like the academics, but so here's the thing: to be a ruler, do you know the channel Extra Credits? Perchance, a YouTube channel
I think I've
dedicated
heard of
to
it.
gaming industry and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so years ago, they had an interesting video, and I mean, I can vouch for lots of it. They had a video, and it's like the keys to power, like the you need to deal. You need to delegate, right? So you have you want to be the leader,
Yep.
so you kind of bribe. So it's not at all about ideology, right?
Nope.
And well, some
There's always gonna be part.
that's the way you trick them. Yeah, that's how you get how you get the rest of the people, right?
Yep.
But you need the military, or you're screwed. So you need to get a couple of influential people, of course, key positions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point. You get key positions, right?
Yep.
You have influencers. I mean that's a new word, right? 15 years ago,
Yeah, they've never said
nobody
that.
knew that name.
That word didn't exist or wasn't common for sure. They'd just been like
So
news anchors or something.
I didn't watch the entire 3 hour, but there's someone shared the 3 hour documentary about manipulation, the father of manipulation, in the Discord. You know about it?
I know about it. Edward Bernays.
There's someone. Yeah, I think
I think that's his
he
name.
got women to smoke and shit like that.
Yep.
I don't know, a psychoanalyst is like the women could have their own dick or whatever. There you go.
Guys love
Male
sexy
energy.
women. So if you put up sexy women smoking, I bet their cigarette sales went way up. So that's kind of the idea. But yeah, he was the first one.
Yeah.
And also he
So-
started studying like all like the subconscious and shit. So he got into like a lot of like psychology and to figure out like how can I manipulate your brain in order to get you to buy what I want to buy or whatever the fuck. And now it's on crack.
I mean, this is a lot of the stuff I studied, but I mean, the thing I studied was refined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the books are like brand new, 15 years ago when I started. So, and this was 100 years ago. So
Yeah.
back to like Trump. Of course, he's a unicum. What do you call it? Like a fucking a unicum. It's just a word meaning one.
Yeah, okay.
It's just one of them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, what I'm getting at is how would you be able to dismantle this?
Oh,
But I'm going there. It's like if he believes himself to be at the top of a pyramid, right?
yes, he does.
But the thing is, the popular in organizational sciences research is the turned upside down pyramid. That model is the stronger way to portray it for your workers, for the organization, where the person at the top, the management, they don't actually do the work, right? They just know the business
Yep.
aspect. So they need to support the people who actually do the work all the way up. Not all the way down, because all the way up is and not only is it actually true, because without them you're screwed, but also if you show that model in meetings and portrayed outward in like internal development, in all meetings, like on the whiteboards around the company, wherever.
Yep.
Even if even if it's a factory, you got these posters, right? When you come into work,
Yeah.
this is us. This is our organization. You got all this.
Yep.
So you kind of show the workers everywhere that they can depend on someone carrying you, not you're not carrying them. So it's also manipulative, right? But if you go, I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it changes culture.
Yeah, for sure.
And if the management sees themselves like that, that will also help them, because it works that way also. Where they're gonna see themselves as like saviors. They're gonna see themselves as Jesus, because Jesus was carrying people. He wasn't at the top. That's his whole message. People
Yeah,
miss
start from the bottom.
people miss
Start
that
from the
all the
bottom
time.
and go to the top. I know.
Yeah.
It's so funny that they always
He's at
miss
the
that.
bottom, but people don't fucking know that. Oh, he's God. He's the Son of God, and he is God. So he's at the top. That's not what.
But he
that's
goes,
not what
he
he said,
becomes a
though.
human.
That's
He's not,
never what
he's
he
not
said.
born into. He's not born a king. He's not born into like the pharaoh. Like that's the idea of it
Yeah.
too. Like he's supposed to be the highest of highs, but yet he's just like everyone else, and he acts like a normal fucking person. You know, like that is the symbolism of that story. A lot of it too.
Just say. Perhaps he was a real person, right?
Sure.
Perhaps he said lots of those things. But I've also seen like documentaries, stories about how there were different kinds of Buddhisms,
Yeah.
and it turns out that maybe just the Buddha told different kinds of coaching to different kinds of people. Like, so that's why there were, that's why there are, like, help yourself, don't care, lose the attachments and all that. But some of the Buddhism styles is like, but you're never gonna reach the end goal. You're never gonna reach nirvana or whatever, unless all people are. So there's a collectivist aspect, and then there's the I can't remember exactly strict. The strict one. That's nothing new gets in. You know, like dogmatic.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Orthodox. Yeah, the pure teachings. So there are like three main branches, as far as I understood it, of Buddhism, and like the review video I saw about this recently said that maybe this isn't really people interpreting the Buddha differently. Maybe he actually said those things to people who needed to hear that in order to get away, in order to progress in their own lives, in their family. Like maybe you had a shit parent. Maybe you're gay in some religious family
Household,
where
yeah.
you're just ostracized, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what do you need to hear? You need to hear take care of yourself. I mean, get out of that bad situation, right?
That's
So,
the first
so
step.
that person goes away, and that's the message he's gonna preach to the rest of the people. But if you're a villager and the Buddha will walk on by, right, and he'll say, "Well, you need to take care of each other." So that's what they're gonna do. And if you lose one of you, if one of you farmers gets sick, or you need to, he's gonna help you when the next one gets sick. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like this. I'm stumbling on the words, but you know what I mean.
I get what you're saying.
So that's the message they're gonna speak. But it's the same fucking guy. The Buddha said all those things. He didn't contradict himself. He just gave proper advice he thought was proper for each situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think reasonably, if Jesus, let's just say maybe he wasn't the son of God, maybe that's just a definition because God can mean so many things, right?
Yep.
Maybe he thought it was God, but his definition is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, philosophically, I've dabbled in metaphysics, philosophy, religion since I was a child, right? So,
Yep.
but maybe he just said those things to different people because they needed to hear it, exactly like the story of Buddha. So I don't doubt that people can have different impressions of Jesus, and maybe he actually said mean things. I have no idea. Sounds like a dick sometimes.
Yeah, flipping
Because
over
when
tables
people
and
go
shit.
against God, he can't. I mean, I can't remember. I don't give a shit about the details, but
No,
I've seen some text.
yeah.
I think I remember that he actually called people to be stoned or whatever. He wasn't against the law,
Nope.
changing the laws.
He was not at all.
He was just
No, yeah, he literally said, "I
so,
did not
and
come
he
to
wasn't
change the law; I just came to fulfill it." That's what he said in the Bible.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And moving forward to the culture thing, like today, the message people are getting, right? Because there are different categories of voters. How do you make people take ownership, like a responsibility for having voted for all these things? Because they're obviously experiencing cognitive dissonance, right?
For sure.
It's not their fault; someone else's fault that these plans aren't working. because they're stupid, and but not only people aren't purely stupid. They're it's just in those areas.
Yeah, I feel
I mean,
like
I could be someone. Yeah, you can be a professor, but really fat, right?
yeah,
It's not It's not connected. One other area of your life, and that you got those emotional triggers. You just can't get it to work because your body. Now we know everything about the gut biome, right? It
figure
mind
out.
controls you. You have no idea.
Yeah, I feel like people here,
you were saying?
are gonna. I was gonna say people here in America. I feel like nobody's gonna change until they actually feel the problem. So like we just passed that stupid big ass bill. Like when they cut Medicaid and they find out like, oh, I do rely on the government. Like I literally voted against my own like needs and wants. Like or like if the farmers have to get subsidized again. Like there's a lot of bad that's about to happen in this country from this thing being passed. And sadly, like I said, I try to, it's like all of us. We all try to warn these people and tell them like this is what's gonna happen. Like everything that's happening is all the shit we've been telling you for like a year, and yet they keep calling us liars. But it's like you're about to find out like the things that we warned you about are seriously happening right now, like slowly but surely. And like I was arguing with somebody earlier today, like it's so sad because I feel like we're in like 1934's fucking Germany. Like we're putting up concentration camps. We're doing all these. We're like I said, we're debating about like due process and like First Amendment rights, like these things that are supposed to be our core principles here, and now we're having debates about it. Like these aren't supposed to be debatable things.
Yeah, I saw. So I watched Kill Tony, and they're super right wing.
Yep.
It's the comedy.
Yep.
So they're super right wing, lots of bigots and
Yeah.
slurs,
Yeah,
whatever.
Sure. Yep.
Super insensitive shit, and I rarely laugh, but I find it interesting, right?
For sure.
Rap battles. No, wait. Comedy battles, roast
Okay.
battles,
Roasting.
and
Yeah.
yeah. But that's like a separate channel.
Mhm.
It happens in Kill Tony also, but
Yeah.
a lot of people join. This is like it's the same kind of people, and it's rare that I laugh at those because it's only the worst of the worst words. It's not
Usually.
intelligent. I like the intelligent stuff. I like the twist.
Mhm.
But when it's only someone's gay, right?
Yeah.
So there's 20 jokes on how fat he is and how gay he is. It doesn't do it for me.
Yep.
But so I was gonna say, oh yeah, this last episode or the one before, there was a guy who came up. He got his 60 seconds and he bombed as usual.
Mhm.
But he said that he just came back from his free vacation from Trump.
From where?
And he says he actually had an American visa or something, but he was he was shipped away and then he got to go back because he actually was legit American.
Yeah.
That's so fucking weird. And then he mentions because the crowd was in a booing state. They booed a lot of people in a row there. So he actually he had to cry out that I actually voted Trump, not to be confused with, and that's really weird.
It is.
You're in the same voter group, but you hate each other, and he voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Hello?
What up, Patrick? Yeah, so like here, so like again with that big beautiful bill thing, whatever, right? We had all these Republican people saying that like this is like horrible. I would never vote for it, never do anything, do everything. But yet, at the very end, they all just get in line, and I think that's the kind of shit that I hate the most because like people have the principles, right? Like everyone should have their principles, right? And if I know something's gonna hurt everybody else, why would I help? Why would I help 10,000 people to hurt 300 million people? You know, like. It just doesn't sound logical at all, and like
Yeah. So
You can go.
So I was talking about the keys to power. What? Let's welcome Patrick in first.
Hell
Hi,
yeah.
guy.
What up?
What's happening, brother?
We're talking about the state.
Not much. What are you talking about?
We've been
I
talking
like
about a little everything.
the politics and the keys to power. And I'm starting to. I was just discussing manipulation like 100 years ago, how it ended up, how we're using manipulation today, and how the keys to power has to be distributed by the one who wants to be in charge. Like you need to have the key and delegate it to the military, influential people. So you have the military, you have the money, and you have the devotees. So there are three. Well, there can be many different groups of devotees. So right now you have like the Christian, the fundamentalists, whatever. Not all Christians are right wing, right?
Yep.
Not all Christians are Christian, apparently.
Right.
Goddamn.
All right. Who'd have thought?
One thing. Oh, hello.
Hello. What's happening?
I haven't finished hanging my laundry yet.
I found a nice t-shirt.
I like it.
Got my Hawaii shirt right here.
Hey,
So what I was saying is, shit. Oh yeah. So the money is, of course, he's promising lots of things to the rich. That's one key. So they're giving him lots of benefits because he's giving them benefits. It's a trade-off, they think. But of course, it's manipulative, as we've learned, as we knew from before. But they're
finding out.
They got where, they got where they are because they thought that this time, if we suck up to this guy, we're gonna be the ones benefited. So that doesn't happen apparently, because Trump wants to appeal to as many groups as possible. He wants to be their messiah, right?
Yep.
So as I was saying about the Buddha, the Buddha was giving different messages to the people who required it. And Patrick didn't hear this, but so the Buddha, he gave messages apparently. So if someone was being ostracized. Today, I was going to say, I gave the example of someone who was homosexual in a Christian fundamentalist family. Of course, the Buddha would say, get rid of those. They don't have to be your family. You can choose your own destiny. You can be your own, and you will find enlightenment in doing what makes you happy. So that's the message that guy will spread when he moves away. So that's one branch of Buddhism, practically. And then if you're a villager, the Buddha will come by and say, well, you have to help your neighbor, right? Because that's the way to prosper for you. So that's the message those guys will go on and do. And there are like three branches of Buddhism mainly. There's this strict version as well, where they Buddhism mainly. There's this strict version as well, where they just the monks are kind of the ones that beg for money, kind of. They are the conduits for the people, so that's they're integrated. You don't have to be a Buddhist. You don't have to be the monk. You can just be like a good person, like in Christianity. And the monks, if you donate to the monks, then you'll also in some way get to be enlightened, because they go around and teach you stuff. So that's kind of three branches. So what Jesus did is also give information to the people he encountered, like just giving
Advice.
them the stuff they needed to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. That's why you get so many different perspectives of what he said, because he actually maybe said all those things, even if they sound contradictory today. Maybe he said those things, or they were taken out of context, or they were. Maybe he was sucking up to people because he wanted their support as well in a cause. But he had to say some things, and sadly, those were the ones that were recorded, right?
Yeah.
We have no idea what the historical person said, if it was that guy, if it was someone else saying, like, you know, how this goes, the rumor train goes. But if Trump or anyone else wants to be a messiah, you give the message that people want to hear, the message that promises them the most,
Yep.
That they think will benefit them the most. So that's being manipulative. So that's 1900s of manipulation, right?
Yep.
And here news, we got all this shit, and so I was all this came from my idea, because we said the world was a wild situation, right?
Yep.
Me and what they said. And I'm getting at my interest in behavioral sciences is that how do we take this away? How do we make people change their ways, change their perspectives? And one thing is they're finding out, right? But they're not really blaming someone else.
Yep.
So that doesn't work. So what you do is you nudge them to change, because you make them think it's their idea, right?
It helps. Like
So yeah,
like you were saying
But
earlier
you-
with
you don't
like
blame them
nudging
because-
nudging culture, like you're saying with Buddha. If Buddha walks by somebody and says, you know, you should help your neighbor, you know, right? Like that one person might change, which now could change another person. That's how you change like the whole culture of like a whole town or now like a country or something. You know, like it takes a couple little changes that everybody can make, and hopefully you influence another person down the road, and then they can influence other people with that kind of mentality. Like that's
yeah.
probably
So
the best way to
we
do
were
it.
saying people were stupid. That's the thing I was saying. I started out saying people were stupid, but that's not how you make people. That's not how you change the world, right?
Yeah.
You can't go around blaming people because they can't see that for themselves. So how do we change the world without them having to realize that they are to blame for voting this guy and supporting all these theories because they didn't understand what they were signing? Like,
Oh, really?
so that's one path. Or the other one is just to push it down their throats, like we did. Remember this? You were in the chat, right? This guy was calling everyone a Nazi. One of the guys in
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I heard, I saw all that
Yeah,
shit.
right?
Yeah, can't do that. Like I always say, I get the sentiment, but you don't do it, and you don't fucking just, you know, you don't call for death of people and shit like that, because no matter what, you're never gonna get people on your side that way.
So that's my point, because that doesn't work, and they're actually, and if you don't agree that all those people are Nazis, you're the Nazi, right?
All right.
It doesn't work that way, but you don't get you get, what do you call it? We don't need more enemies. We can work with stupid people, right?
Yeah.
As far as every one of us, we probably consider most people less educated
Yeah.
than we are in particular areas that we're interested in. So I think I'm superior in debating certain kinds of areas, certain kinds of research. But that doesn't make me superior in changing a fucking light bulb.
All right. You're right.
Someone probably did that better than me. I had to change my what do you call it? I bumped my head in the basement the other day, and it blew a fuse. So, and I didn't have any at home, so half of my lights downstairs were out. So
Yeah.
sound clumsy, right?
Yep. Yeah,
So I'm obviously not I'm not an Ubermensch, right?
we're not supposed to be the
but I mean,
master
I
of
still
everything.
call-
That's why I always try to preface people. We're not. You're supposed. Everybody supposed to have one or two like areas of expertise, and that's where you grow the community. Because I have two good things that I'm good at, and then my neighbor has two good things that they're at, and then the neighbor next to me has two good things, and then everybody can work together because I can't build cars, I can't build houses, I can't build computers. Like there's a lot of things I can't do, but they can, and I can help them out in this department, like with like the history of how things work, or how the law works, like because those are the things that interest me, so I can really help you out in those departments, But like you're saying, like we're not supposed to be the master of everything.
And the Mexicans are really good at gardening.
Yeah.
Sorry. The Mexicans are really good at gardening. And I'm shit at gardening. We don't really have many Mexicans in Sweden. I was just paraphrasing shit from Kill Tony.
No, I get you. All right. It's just funny, though.
It's awful.
And then we got...
I've invited other one of my friends here. So, well, to address the Lars, what you were saying about, do we have to expose them to the truth that they're to blame for all this, and do they have to have a realization moment? Yeah. I think we do. I think most people have to have that to start taking action, because otherwise, why would you do it if you aren't realizing that you're part of this interdependent system? And that's what Buddhism is also teaching, is that word interdependence. It's really common, particularly like interdependent origination. Like
but if you consider their maturity level at a 3-year-old, how would you do that? Because they're not there, right? So
the maturity, like the way that so maturity is a tricky concept, and the way I think about it, they're all grown up. A lot of them are making very mature financial decisions or mature occupational decisions and all that, but they'll also be operating on an ideology, and the ideology is merit-based culture. It's the assumption that people people are only worth the effort that they seem to be able to put into things.
That made good decisions. You trust Trump because he made lots of money, so obviously he knows what he's doing. He'll do it for us too. That's charlatan.
That is the idea.
Way. That's
the
thing that,
I think that's what a lot of people think here.
It's taking the easy way out, and a lot of people don't realize the privilege that they occupy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the throwaway culture, the dominance hierarchy, the idea that this world was given to us to use and to extract the resources from. All of that, you have to have a major paradigm shift to break through. I guess that's what I was trying to say. Like, if you don't have that, if you don't have some kind of breakthrough moment, then people aren't going to be motivated to do that. And I've watched this happen with some people that I know, conservatives and relatives of mine, that they openly mock me when I say this plastic is going to this place, or I'm choosing not to do this thing because of the repercussions, or I'll describe the repercussions quite clearly, and it's just like, you're overthinking it, man. Come on, what are you talking about? There is, obviously there's limits. You can't, you can go a hymn to Janus, which I tried to do for a while. It's really difficult, but that's where you wear a mask and you sweep a broom in front of you so you don't step on any bugs. A mask and you sweep a broom in front of you so you don't step on any bugs, because you're trying to be completely nonviolent and always conscious of the third and fourth order consequences of your choices. But the ideology I think that they're operating on is just this world is ours for the taking, and you can always pull yourself up by your bootstraps no matter what. And so until they didn't grow up in these situations, a lot of times they come from privilege, and so they don't know what that's like to have grown up in the poverty that they're thinking that people can just overcome.
Yeah.
So to have that breakthrough moment, to really, you have to have the feeling of guilt, you have to have the feeling of involvement, and that my actions have consequences, and that the primary virtue is care and empathy and non-judgmental compassion towards everyone and everything on the planet, and not this, the world is created for me, the world is my oyster. And that's exactly what the Christian narrative is all about. It's in Genesis, it's all throughout the Bible, is that the world is yours to to girdle. Literally, Adam, like the first
It submits to you.
chapters of Genesis,
Yeah.
describe Adam being put here to name all the creatures. Like, we are made in God's one image, and so this is this whole thing about religiosity and where
That's Old
like
Testament,
it's
right?
like vertical. It's like this idea of where we have to have, or where we're trying to align with the one conception of the one singular God, but nobody agrees on what that one singular God is. Whereas in the East, you have polytheism, and it's more lateral. God is in everything. God is everything. You are all God. You're God. We are all God. And it's not. There's no hesitancy to debate that. But in the West, we have to debate it because there's always that just one conception of God. It's this hierarchy, vertical transcendence, as opposed to lateral, horizontal interdependence and connection. So that's like this is old theory, old philosophical theory and theology that all exacerbates that narrative that they default to, because most people they default unconsciously to one particular narrative. That's what brains do, until you're like deeply questioning it, until you're taught how to deeply question the narratives and the words that you use and the perspectives that you've been taught. I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. This is how people gain the religious perspectives they gain and the political perspectives they gain consciously.
Yeah, they're pretty much one and the same. Like I said, for me, the big thing with religion is, like I said, if you can believe in fake things with no evidence, like on your politics now, it's going to be hard to prove you with actual facts and evidence, because you already can believe the biggest question on fallacies. So it makes me think that you're going to change your political views because of fallacies. But I guess I was telling Lars earlier, I think that, and I told you before, Patrick, I just think people need to feel the effects of what they voted for, either A, and the best way to actually, like get people to be more empathetic towards each other, we should have like a Freaky Friday fucking swap off where like you go from being super rich to super poor for like a week, and like vice versa, and then you could see how the other side lives, and then you would fucking like understand like where your perspective, like your perspectives are. Like, I wish there was a way to do that, but we just can't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are many ways to share perspectives and compare them humbly, pragmatically.
I mean, we try, and I
think
And
we
do you
just
have any
use
science
layers
to back
and we use
up
the impact.
your opinion? And do you have any science?
The best data are autopsies. So in the law,
Yeah, I think we just become more distant when we use further separated layers of communication. That's why we have to have Congress in person. And
yeah. So like, I feel like I've gotten like a lot of like the center right people. I can sway them over with like evidence, like just showing like I said, like how I predicted things and now they're coming true, like all these kind of things. Like, so like the center people, but like the far cult MAGA people, like the full fledged, like I bought 8 different T-shirts, I bought a suit, like those people, like I don't know how you're gonna get them without them having to feel some pain and suffering at that point. Like, I feel like that's the only way, like that side, which is not many. I always say it's probably like 15% of the country, whatever, it's not much, but like they're extreme, and that's hard. It's kind of like, if I were to think about it, it'd be like, how do you get the extreme Palestinians or the extreme Israelis to fucking understand that the 2-state solution and all this shit's probably a lot better? Like, it's been 100 years of battling, man. It's tough because they're so far apart. How do you bridge that gap?
yeah, I mean, maybe infiltrate the way that Daryl Jones did to convert all those KKK members.
What do you do? Oh, you
Like,
infiltrated?
The main thing that he did, he just shared music and things that they have in common and just related to them. It was super friendly. And then he took off the mask. He's like, guess what? I'm black. And they're like, oh shit, what do you know?
Right.
Yeah, well, that's a really good idea, because I think I wrote something like this on your on one of your Facebook posts like a week ago. The thing to break. Remember, if it was Socrates or Plato or something in the state, he says that you have to you should actually get the government or someone to raise your children, because you won't know who's who, and you won't kill your You won't risk killing
Killing your
someone
kid.
that might be family.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's a really stupid thing because that's absolutely the main like the main source of violence is inside family today, right? So that's he didn't have those statistics, but what you do is you have lots of exchange programs and benefits for like professors working in universities, like all these kinds of subsidies maybe for foreign countries and ambassadors to come to your country. And that way, if Israel bombs you, if Israel bombs Palestine, they're gonna have to deal with all those countries. I mean, the population that relates to all those people.
You know, that's actually not like the worst idea in the sense, like, yeah, if you had like a Russian, a Chinese, or whatever, Australia, like, all of them in Israel or Palestine, like, well, if you bomb it, you just killed all of our people. Therefore, I guess we're probably going to attack you back. That's kind of how it goes with war.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. It can be a handful people, like 5 Russians, 5 Chinese people, 5 Indians,
Yeah.
like the volatile countries, military powers. I mean, fuck Israel, right? Doesn't matter if U.S. supports them; they're going to be sanctioned
Fuck yeah.
like to hell.
Yeah.
That's.
No, I mean,
I mean, 15 people from 3 different dangerous countries that's gonna support any hacking endeavors bringing Israel. I mean, the Iran, right? They had covert operations. They simply had to pay someone. They just paid simple money to people in Israel, and they could disrupt the defense systems to actually bomb Tehran, right?
yeah.
Oh wait, Tel Aviv. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
They weren't even Israel. They weren't even Iran operatives. They were poor people or criminals in Israel that were just bribed to make sure all this shit worked out for them.
Yeah, the cause chaos.
Of course, now sorry.
I was just saying, just to cause chaos. I mean, that's probably, you know, you hire from within to cause chaos. Because the thing is, like, if you're a country or whatever, you're looking at everyone else trying to fight you, but then you have a fucking skirmish or two inside your own fucking camp. You know, it's gonna make it difficult for me to worry about other.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm saying that.
So I don't know. I mean, Iran has been hacking Sweden as well for years now, so they're one of the bad ones,
Yeah.
according to everyone in Sweden.
You're probably not wrong. Iran's one of the top leading people of terrorism, so they're not good people. But there's always, like a lot of things, there's a better way of dealing with it than just fucking outright just bombing them. Like,
I always bring up the thing that people are people, and the corruption at the top
Yeah,
are
the
the
government.
corruption at the top,
Yeah,
right?
the
So we should
government.
separate them.
True, of course. Yeah, the government's the government, and the people are people. Are different.
Hello, Carlos.
How's it going?
It's going spectacular, my brother.
Don't mind me.
I'm playing some of this game. But I can't stream it.
Oh, Breath of the
Just
Wild, I
taking
love
care
that
of a
game.
few things. For...
Or not Breath. Or Tears of the Kingdom, I guess, not Breath. But either way. No. Yeah, I spent like a couple of years ago. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out like studying like different cults, like the Major Applewhite cult and all these cults and stuff. Like, and it's so hard to figure out how to get people out of it because like with Major Applewhite, the one chick that died, it was like a senator from California's fucking sister or something, like, you know, like, so like that was like influential. It doesn't matter how smart you are, like they couldn't get these people out of it. So I don't know. It's what drives people to have to just not use their brain, I guess. That's how I feel like you have to join a cult, because you just have to turn your brain off. You just have to listen. Like you said, it's the top guy. You just listen to the king, the emperor, whoever the fuck it is, and you shut off your brain to everything else, because they're God. They're the arbiter of correct. I don't know why people would want to think that way. I feel like that's just taking away all questioning and shit. It's not good.
you need to be suggestible to that shit, because you have to be primed early on. I think you don't just turn out a 25-year-old Swedish person that was never religious and never lived in a. I mean, it's a secular country, right?
Yep.
So you don't just turn someone who's had a good upbringing, 25 years old, newly graduated, whatever university, right?
Mhm.
You don't just turn that person into a cult member. It's not that easy. You have to lure them in very specific ways. You can do it, but you need to know a lot about them,
Mhm.
like any mentalist would learn. Like you have your methods, right, to learn specifics. Like, is there a breakup? What kind of trauma do you have that I can play on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
And then you do the thing the Jesus thing. You give them different coaching.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they all do. That's what Manson, what all cult leaders do is they always have to point to these people are wrong. I'm right. Trust me. And
Yeah, but they also give different stories to the different members at first, and
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like if you having a problem with like your wife, you're gonna give this person like an affair story versus like you have a problem with your kids, you might give them a fucking I got beat by my kids story and delve into that to manipulate their emotions to make you think that you're the like I said the arbiter of truth basically because you can understand them like oh
yeah,
I know what your life's like I dealt with that I dealt with this don't worry I know.
yeah, and they make you feel entitled, of course. Like you're actually the boss of the family if that's the man. But if it's the woman, you turn it the opposite. You turn into the great listener. Well,
Yeah. No, yeah.
Carlos is a great
What did you say?
He said you're a great listener.
I said you're a great leader. You'd be a great cult leader.
Oh yeah. I think that should be everyone's goal to start something like that. Just make sure it doesn't become stagnant. I mean, see, I look at it kind of differently because I mean, we can always say that a system without or a system with rigid boundaries is considered a cult. The only dynamic is that I mean, we have it's on a bigger scale, but essentially it's the same thing. Once a system becomes rigid, I mean, it is representing a cult because you have to follow specific guidelines, and if you don't, well, you're going against the culture itself.
Let me find this quote. I found a really good description of how cults form recently. Yeah, here we go. It's from Amanda Montell. The linguistic tricks cults use something.
So all
She said, "My parents,
the word comes from growing crops, right? It's the like 2,000 years
cultivate.
ago. Yeah, cultivate. It comes from growing crops,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I wonder which one came first, actually. So, I mean, I imagine like cultivate came first, yeah. So this says, my parents, they're scientists, and they will use jargon that I don't understand, but that jargon is there to make communication clearer. Cultish language has these ulterior motives, and it's there to make communication hazier. It's there to divide people, to shut down independent thinking. And that's how you know that language is cultish, when it causes strong emotional responses, but you yourself have trouble translating what exactly it is that you're saying.
That makes sense.
And of course, that's everywhere because people reason with emotions first. We make decisions on emotions first, just like all the other creatures on this planet. We're neurochemical beings first, and then we start bringing on the prefrontal cortex. So that's why we have to teach the mindfulness. Got to teach people how to use that prefrontal cortex, enhance its abilities, teach critical thinking, logical fallacies, and philosophy K through 12. But of course, if you want to keep your citizens subservient, you do the opposite, and you just teach them to memorize and to do temporary memorization to pass tests, and don't actually teach them anything of value. Definitely don't encourage any introspection or anything like that.
But you need to you need to keep people going in circles, right? You can't give them the keys, and you give them small keys, and they believe they got the answer, right? But then you tell them there's a second level, and there's a third level, and fourth, like Scientology.
Yep. Yeah.
And even then, you can't tell them that. You can't tell them there's multiple layers. I think they have to be comfortable with approaching that boundary, that boundary that's called temptation, right? People who seek something further than the containment that they're in. Those are the people that become curious, or they start to ask questions because they're scared of not being in control of something, right? But at the end of the day, that's what they're really trying to do. It's you don't want to have it so that it's so rigid that no one questions everything, but you want to be able to have that a little bit of flexibility to keep things moving in the right direction.
Yeah. We need to start making people more curious about things like science, math. Like I think that's a big thing too. I think if you have more people more curious about topics that are more educational, like you say, even like philosophy, like make people just be curious, because then the more they want to question these things, like these small things, by the time you start questioning the bigger things later in life too. And if you start at a young age, start thinking like, hey man, like how does the sun work? Oh man, how does rain form? Like, and just that instant curiosity. Because like I said, to me, I think then you'll carry that rest of your life. You'll start asking these little questions, and then you'll be less duped and less susceptible to fucking having one person tell you exactly your whole worldview about everything too.
But first, we have to stop the chemtrails, right?
Always. That's important.
Gotta teach people the reality of how airplanes move through the air.
So, I can't remember all the words, but I follow this streamer sometimes. I'm not Hassan Abi. He's the Turkish guy living in the US, right?
Yep.
He's been on multiple national shows as well, and he's super smart. Basically, I don't agree with everything, but I rarely do.
Yep.
But also, he doesn't allow bullying of the other of people in his chat. If they didn't get it, it's not always their fault, but he will tell them. So there's this is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? If they didn't get it, it's not always their fault, but he will tell them. So there's this is it Marjorie Taylor Greene or something that's put out. Someone was like wants to prevent, like, make it unlawful for changing the atmosphere because God made the weather this way, or something like that. Who said there's a whole video I should put in the chat, but yeah, it's on Hassan Abi's YouTube as well. Like the floodings report like a couple of days ago, and they mentioned all of this. They want to make weather gathering info like privatized, even because it'll make good business for someone, even though it's free from the government today.
Right.
Apparently,
It is.
it's super weird.
Yeah, they cut.
I mean, how would that work? Because there are weather stations from, all over the world that are not from the government. How would they information?
It's just conspiracy theorist people that think this, because obviously we all know that it's not the way it is. But yeah, they think that like news organizations are just gonna fucking buy up all the weather balloons and do all the shit themselves without the government. But like, it doesn't make them money, so I don't know why they would do it. Like, that's the whole thing about, like, if you're gonna privatize something, you gotta have, like, a profitable incentive. Like you're saying, we already do for free. What the fuck's my incentive to fucking make? I'm not gonna make money on it. Why would any private organization do it? It just kind of makes no sense. But yeah, they cut like $1 billion off NOAA and FEMA money and all these things, National Weather Service and shit too. So I mean, like, it's already happened. What up, brother?
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's happening, brother?
Playing some Breath of the Wild. Man, Tears of the Kingdom.
I know it's so hard to
You got
say.
me the second Pokemon game.
We're talking
How to make
about
global
cult
impact
mentalities.
knowledge.
Cult
Cool.
mentalities, how to get people out of them, what makes them go in them. Kind of like that's kind of been the main topic for the last probably half hour, 20 minutes. But
So I'm addicted. So I'm addicted to the game called Hearthstone by Blizzard.
I haven't played,
China.
but I heard it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to play it. It's the thing I get. It's not nostalgic. It's got. I used to play it for years since it came out, but now the couple of years I've only been playing the mode Battlegrounds, which is kind of like what do you call it? Team Fortress or Battle. What do you call it? Chess.
I don't know, battle
Like
royale.
you pick a couple of cards. Yeah, battle royale kind of style.
Okay.
You roll and you get like a poker kind of thing. You buy up minions and they battle out every round
Okay.
because it takes like 20 minutes and it makes you not do the things you should do, right? And it's the loot box depending. So I'm getting back to the thing we were talking about, but so I likely have ADHD, right? I'm gonna talk to a counselor in like it's been 25, 30 years coming, right? But
Yeah.
so maybe, and even if I get a remittal this time, it still might take 2 years because it's not prioritized in my region. But what I'm talking about is how do we reach people, right? Because we could just make a loot box games for fundamentalist Christians and just sneak shit in there, like with actual good ideological messages in games for Christian kids, right? Or rednecks, whatever you want to. I don't know I don't know what words or slurs like. I only see them.
What they call it, DEI culture. That's what they're
So
doing.
like, cracker is cracker considered a slur? I don't know.
Technically, but I don't. I mean, personally, I don't really care, but it is. I mean, depends on how sensitive you want to be.
To me, it's a biscuit, right? I have no fucking idea. I've just seen people say it in shows. It's a biscuit. My fellow person. It's a biscuit. It's a bit of cookie.
It's a crumpet.
A cracker.
I think the joke is kind of that white people don't care about being called crackers.
Some do, but not most. I will say, but some do. It's like anything. If it depends on how
Yeah,
sensitive
most of
people
them
are.
don't.
Like some people are really sensitive about all that shit. Which, they are, I'll not do them obviously. But like, I personally just don't give a fuck. They're just. I always say my favorite phrase is "words are wind." It's just wind and sound out of your mouth. It's us that make the words mean anything. Like.
Well, they can turn. The right person can turn words into shit.
Oh,
apparently,
totally.
But
yes, but again, it comes down to what we have to make it mean. Like, how about this? Like the phrase like "peace through strength." It's an oxymoron. Like it makes no sense. But if the right person says it the right way, it kind of makes sense. And if someone else says it, you get that whole like, huh, what do you mean by that? It doesn't sound like you're saying what you think you're saying. You know, like it depends again how you're. But again, it's how we interpret. It's all about our personal feelings or perspective of those words. Like but the words themselves don't do anything or don't mean anything per se.
That's the way. That's the way we can nudge people, like trick people, get them more friendly. What do you call it? You approach people by, the strategy of saying that giving up like non-important weakness about yourself, like
Yeah.
saying that you're one of them. You don't come across as better than them because that's gonna shut the conversation down before it starts.
Yeah.
So like first appearance is one thing. So if you go to the wrong place in the wrong outfit, I mean wrong skin color sometimes, that's awful, of course, but that's gonna shut it down before it ever starts. But
Mhm.
so what I do when I start speaking politics with people is that I mention that first of all, I do vote, I do support one political party here, but I have friends in all different parties, and I think that all parties have relevant things
Mhm.
to contribute to the society. So that's one thing I start out with saying, and then I say I also don't agree with 50% of what they're saying at the Capitol in Stockholm. So I actually don't agree with like the main characters that they only know like two names, obviously, of the party. So when you say it that way, because it's obviously true for everyone, but the thing is, in politics, you have to have a unified front, which makes it really stupid because you can't give up. It makes you look weak. They think it makes you look weak, but it doesn't really. It's much better to come across as genuine in politics, which a lot of people just miss out on completely, and that's why Trump is winning, because he's genuine. He's actually this stupid about some things, but he's genuine, and that's what comes through. That's what shines through. So if you're genuine and just tell people that I don't agree with 50% of what they're saying over there, and I actually agree with some things that I don't know what party you're voting for, but I bet I agree with some of those things, right? So I start to fish, and it's quite easy to see if they're right wing, right?
For sure.
Yeah, you're looking for emotional connection. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it's the perfect way to integrate yourself with their thought process. Introduce
and
emotional.
And I'm honest, I do. I don't agree with the things they said on TV, like the other day, my party, right?
Yep.
So and they buy that, and they often say, oh, "You're not like the others. You don't condemn me for voting for my party." So that, I think you have to be like that to change society. But I also don't know how to change it. I mean, I ask questions. How do you see this going? How do you see this going? What happened last time that people voted for this party? I don't see that they held their promises, right? Can you actually say that they held up their end of the bargain? Stuff like that. So I question them, but you can't push too hard on some buttons. But I mean, you get a feel for a person, but you have to open it up, because they won't even listen to you.
I got a question though. Have you guys had anyone close to being as polarizing as Trump has been? Because I feel like in normal circumstances, like with normal politics, I 100 billion% agree with what you're saying, but it's so polar. Like I'm saying, like I would always say that's probably 15% of the people that are like the 100% mega. They don't give a fuck. Whatever he says is 100% true. Those people, I don't know how you win those people over. Like, I just don't get. I don't know how. I've been trying to figure it out for so long, because everything's always somebody else's problem. If Trump, like if the stock market goes down, it's Biden's fault. If all the wars happening, he hasn't stopped them. Well, it's Biden's fault. Like, everything is always somebody else's fault. Like even with this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, it's Pam Bondi's fault. It's this person's fault. It's like, when can you guys ever take onus on your side? You ask me to condemn like the BML riots, the LA riots. Like, anytime something happens, you ask me to condone it. I do, because anytime something happens, you ask me to condone it. I do, because I always tell people, like, I'm true on principle. I don't stand on fucking political sides like that. Like, if people on my party fucking suck, guess what? I'll say they suck. I don't give a fuck. But I can't get them to ever do the same on their side, and that's the part that frustrates me the most, because, like, you're right, because you should try to be empathetic and try to make them see your side, but the certain people, I don't know how to get them to do, because I've done all that with people. That's the spiel.
I mean, maybe like I was saying, you just got to relate to them. Like, go person by person. It can't be some giant project. It's got to be community involvement. You got to motivate the right people to motivate other people to change, and do what
Yeah.
Daryl did. You know, like find really good ways to relate to people, good conversation habits. Just be super friendly, and then surprise them with the fact that there are other ways of looking at things. And when you introduce contradictory facts to them, you got to be really patient. There's lots of delicate techniques involved in all that. Some of that you have to learn too, like a lot of the just really good communication habits and how to have really delicate conversations. You can learn that online if you really want to.
I usually try to match energy. If someone fucking wants to have a great conversation and be like level headed, like I said, like the one day, like I said, we were talking about religion and shit out at the bar, like in the patio. Like me and one dude were talking, just having a fine conversation, just having a good old conversation, and then another person from the other side of the patio was like, starts screaming and yelling. It's like, lady, like you know that we could talk about this and be adults here. Why the fuck are you screaming at me? You know, like goddamn. But that's what I mean. The same thing happens online, though. Like I'm saying, like me and a dude could be talking, like having a real good conversation about like, here's the law, here's this, and we'll go over like facts and good things. There's always this person like, you guys are all just fucking I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like nothing you're saying is actually adding anything of substance to this actual conversation. Like we can have a good conversation that's out there, but a lot of people just don't want to have it. They just rather do the name calling, shit talking, whatever the fuck. You know, it's very sad. I feel like. Patrick, fuck that Gliok up.
Yeah, we'll figure out. Yeah, so I figured out or I didn't figure out. I watched a cool video on how to actually completely annihilate these things. I'll see if I can pull it off.
You got the grease.
You just put a cart down when you knock them out. You put one platform down with 2 rockets, and then you just shoot them off the edge, and then they take a huge amount of fall damage. And sometimes they just
Do you know that you can put
It's funny.
grease arrows on, right? Put an ice crease on your arrow right now and shoot him. It's a homing missile. It'll hit his head instantly. Boom.
Yeah, I guess I could do that from down here. I like to jump.
You know, yeah. I'm just saying. All you gotta do is just shoot it. It'll fucking hit him automatically. Boosh. Well, you gotta hit the crease wings or crease eyeballs. I think it
Oh,
is.
you mean that's right. Yeah.
I know. I hate when that's the only thing that sucks about this game. You gotta fucking do this for 8 hours.
No, you can customize it. Just having it. Wow.
See.
Okay,
Boom.
so let's see if I can.
Oh, you talking about the
this
guys that
guy.
shoot shit?
Watch this shit, y'all. And then you just go, dude. Oh wait, shit. Oh, I fucked it up. Let's see. No,
Oh.
that was the last one I had too. Let's see, can I do it again? I don't think I can. I want to fight fire with fire. That's right.
You better eat some food. You're about to die.
Anybody learn anything new this week?
I learned.
I learned a lot this week.
They found a fucking what's it called? It's a thing between virus and an organism. So it could be like one of the connectors of what made humans, or like life out of no life.
Oh, I saw that.
I shared it and I didn't know if it was true, so I was like, hold on, I gotta read about it. Then I read about it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is like legitly awesome. What it's like?
So what is it? It's in biology or what?
Yeah, hold on. I'll double check what.
Dang it.
I'm trying to find the. It's hard to say. It's a Sucun archenium mirabile. Oh, hold on. I was reading the article.
Oh yeah.
Oh, mushroom. You think it derives from a mushroom?
No, no,
see.
not necessarily. It says so. At first glance, creators define life as something as straightforward that it downright to a single-cell organism capable of reproduction and welcome the tree of life. But they found this, which is understanding like a virus, because viruses don't grow, reproduce, or on their own and make their own energy. They're typically excluded from the definition of life. But once a virus infects a host, it immensely activates and can be responsible for world-altering events. However, life, complicated in this controversial categorization of life or not life, can be a gray area which organisms appear to defy the expectation of both camps. Recently, scientists found members of a head-scratching chondre in this new paper. They named it after the Japanese name mythology, known for its small stature. This entity contains the necessary genes to create its own ribosomes and messenger RNA, something that's typical of life, but it is a virus, which viruses lack. But like a virus, it offloads certain biological functions onto its host and reappears singularly obsessed with replicating itself. So basically, it needs a host still currently, but it makes its own ribosomes and mRNA. So it's kind of like a combo between a real life thing and a fucking virus. So
Right, and doesn't it eat by growing organisms on its skin, or essentially on the outside of its semi-permeable membrane?
Yep.
And then it eats that instead of like digesting. It's a new form of digestion too,
Yeah.
or metabolism, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's interesting because that follows a specific pattern. So I want you to send like a link or something so I can look at it.
Here we go. Hold on, I got you.
Antoine Petrov put up a really good video on it a couple of days ago.
Did he? Okay, hold
If you
on.
follow that channel, Antoine Petrov just did one on it.
Antoine Petrov.
Yeah, it's a Russian.
Anton Petrov.
I put the link to
Shout
the
out.
article I was reading in the chat.
Yeah, because that sounds like recursion at its finest.
Yeah,
And
it was
the way I'm
found
thinking,
it was found in Nova
like,
Scotia. So Canadians figured this out.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Sure. Freaking riding dragon in the depths.
Let's see.
So yeah, apparently this thing has 238,000 pairs of DNA, which is like super, like one of the smallest things ever. You gotta think we have like 8 zillion trillion fucking DNA strands compared to this. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting though. It's just it's cool because, like I said, people are always trying to figure out what, how did life start? Well, not necessarily this, but this could be one of those things that bridge our gap of knowledge.
I would say this is probably like one piece of the puzzle. It's definitely contributing.
Yeah, like I said,
Definitely building the bridge.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying this is the answer, but it's gonna help lead to an answer, I'd hope.
Of course.
Yeah, I learned about freaking cell morphogenesis and how Platonism can apply to that. It's very interesting. Like, I don't know if you are following any of Michael Levin's work, but it seems like he's going to be the one that makes the breakthrough on how to cure cancer because of the way that he's approaching morphogenesis and morphological space, as he calls it.
You said morphological?
Yeah, cell morphology, morphological space, or morphogenesis. And just seeing what cells do on their own without any DNA programming to them, it seems that there's kind of this platonic realm, indeed, of just natural relation-fueled action, and it just requires the relata to work that out. It's really hard to talk about without sounding crazy, but it's very Eastern too, and that's why it's kind of remained outside of the universities for this long, I think. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating. It's really blowing my mind recently.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating. It sounds like he's speaking from or he's operating from a fragmented standpoint, but not like fragmented in a chaotic state, but like a structured fragmented state. Sort of like the same way their mathematicians work in complex plane, where they have action numbers and then imaginary numbers. So he's working behind the scenes. It's that approach he's taking.
Yeah, he has a big lab too. It's 11 lab, and it's doing a lot of good. I think it's going to do a lot of. It's going to do a lot of good for medicine. It's a bit controversial too. It's hard to know how to think about what they're doing, but I think overall it's going to be pretty good.
I'm reading on this this page you just sent me.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was right. Yeah, it's cell recursion. Nice. A cell-dependent mini-cell virus-like entity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what it's doing is, yeah, I'm talking to Wally.
Okay.
I was looking at the stuff that you just sent.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of, it has that rigid and fluidity dynamic that I was telling you guys about, where let's say originally the system's meant to create, right? But if you're creating too much, right, and the system becomes too overactive, right, what happens? Usually calcification.
Yeah.
Because it needs to stay within the boundaries of the containment that it's in, right? Once it overproduces, it becomes like a toxin, right? So it's that same dynamic. The only thing is we're stripping it down to the core and realizing by operating in a more fragmented state, they can navigate it in a way that allows something that's usually destructive to become something productive or something that creates instead of destroys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Urgent.
I think I might have sent you the video about this too. One of his most recent interviews with a bunch of other people. They're showing how this affects psychedelic hallucinations too, and how the same patterns we see in cell morphology are seen in the geometry of hallucination, which is really interesting. Which that adds credence to the idea that it is indeed a biological, physical phenomenon, that it's not idealism, but it's matter first. I don't know. I mean, there's different ways to think about that too.
I think the idea is just about it, right? That's the only way to get it started. That's why operating in the abstract is so important, because people just want to stay on stones, right? The stuff that they already know about. It's like you have to be able to make wild connections and then just reel it in a way that makes logical sense. It's like reverse engineering instead of
Kinda.
engineering things.
Sometimes it's really good to fucking start broad and then narrow into some things. It depends on the topic. Like, you know, if you're talking about like if two science people are really going at it, dude, like they got to get real technical. They got to stay in that zone. They can't go into fucking like whatever. But like, you know, if we're doing like a morality one or like, you know, other topics where it can broaden out, it's kind of nice to start broad and then you can kind of dwindle it down to the one view. Like, you know, let's say like your premise was fucking, I don't know, eating chocolate's good.
I would,
You know, like
no, I get what you're saying with that. Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And I think that makes sense if you're working at a singular level. But when you're communicating in a way that covers multiple disciplines, it has to be in wider, right? Because then you're just compressing all this information into singularity, and that's already within itself is a extremely rigid mindset to have when you're trying to expand on something or you know, push someone, right? Because in a debate, you want to get to an expanded viewpoint of what the debate is. Like, if you're just talking about shit that we already know about, is it a productive debate? No. That's just trying to show people that you have brain power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to be able to push each other but also bring each other back. Push each other, bring each other back. It's that positive disintegration. You want your conversation to evolve. So if you're not hitting the abstract, what the hell are we doing? Are we just fucking trying to memorize things? I mean, that's the all we're doing is trying to remember what other people already came up with.
Sometimes. I
That
mean,
doesn't
yeah.
seem productive to me. I mean, I get it if we're trying to stabilize the system, right? If we have a system that we're trying to make better, then doing these linear conversations are great. But in the end, it's just you're gonna be reinforcing something that's gonna stay still. It's only gonna be meant for a specific time, specific moment. If you create something that moves, that constantly breathes and adapts to what we're discussing, then I think that's more beneficial, at least in the long term.
Yeah. Probably. Like I said, the more you can
Come on,
connect,
guys,
the more you can connect with people. Like I said, the more emotional connection you can get to people, the more you can probably eventually sway a view or whatever. Because, like I said, if we have 28 things in common, sometimes it's more like what. Sometimes it's more like what. How hard is it to go one or two more? You know, if I believe you on taxes, if I believe you on this. Well, if I go, well, I vote and think this way, they're probably more likely to lean that way compared to being like they think that we're just complete opposite, you know.
Yeah, it's like when your outer shell doesn't match, people just or let's say you're in the room and someone can't quite figure out the type of person you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that connection is not going to be very easy to make. But you start to share a little bit. That's where that emotional connection comes in. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I read books too. That was one connection. Over time, keep talking, keep chatting, becoming vulnerable. You'll be able to make that transition. But even then, for a lot of people who think in a very logical way, that's going to be extremely difficult. Because every little thing is going to be a trigger. Everything is going to trigger that specific trauma, whatever the case was, that they had before is going to make that come online in almost an instant. And it doesn't need to be something physical. It could just be, I guess it's still physical regardless. But yeah. So you got to be sensitive when it comes to that, but also, I would say try to push. I know we kind of veered off into something else, but try to make the connections.
I got you.
Yeah, sensitivity is really important too, and trying to enlighten people and trying to deconvert them or whatever it's called. Like save them from their disillusionment or their illusion, whatever you want to call it. You have to be really delicate, and you have to find things to relate. And I guess that's where it does come down to the individual again, too. This has to be something that's community-based or specific to the particular cult or the particular community thinking. Like if you have a MAGA community in, say, in my town versus a MAGA community in New York or whatever, it's going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So if you strip that down,
to like the things that we can relate to in town, it makes for easier relation that way. Like you can make similar jokes or things that people will get, as opposed to when you go too abstract, it's harder to get the connections that you want.
yeah, well, I think that's where that deviation comes into, because a lot of people, if they only process information a specific way, it's gonna be very difficult for you to process the information and connect in a way that's just more healthy for the conversation. But the thing is, a lot of people who like to have these conversations and like to debate, they do not like to be vulnerable. That's a whole another thing you need to factor in. Because you can be smart and you can just lack emotional intelligence. And it doesn't matter how much logic you use. You can use logic, and the moment their thought process is triggered or or we're talking about a subject that they cling on to for identity, yeah, that's going to be impossible to navigate. So
Yeah,
it's really about breaking that structure too. I think as much as it's important to be sensitive, I think some people like a more assertive approach where they assert the dominance, where they have to learn to be submissive. It's kind of what we were talking about a few days ago about being in a chaotic environment. Like you can't just tell someone in a nice way that they need to better themselves if they've been surrounded by chaos the whole time. Sometimes they need to have something that they could actually connect with. And sometimes that thing is something extremely destructive.
Well, speaking of destructive, do y'all want to play some Brawl? And get destroyed, I should say. I have to do this shit talking. Important.
I will in probably like 10, 15 minutes. I'm finishing up my game of Risk. I was playing that for a little bit.
Oh, snap. Okay.
So I'll finish this round up and
Yeah,
then
maybe
I'll
another
join
bit.
out in a minute. But, yeah, dude.
I think Brandon said he was going to try. Yeah. It's
Yo,
like,
Brandon
where are you
hasn't been on
looking?
in a minute. What's going on with him?
No,
Brandon, he's been
he's
working.
been busy working.
Yeah, he's been working.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's right.
I know. I always send him a
Trucker?
no. What is he doing? Is he trucking? Or he's like a dock worker, maybe?
I thought it was trucking, but that was long ago, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think
He got tired of me. I don't know if you know this, but he's called me out for being. Well, he got tired of me after we had the chat, right? You and me.
Yep.
And then I continued to speak with Brandon on my own, and we were like, I was like, I'm bad at this. I know this, but I know how to coach other people in your own branding, right? Because he's just churning out ideas on his systemic. He's got a systems approach on like the universe, you know. So what I'm doing is I'm finding like the what do you call it, the variables that he's putting into his systems theory, and I'm saying, well, you want people to read the things that you're putting out there, but you're only getting 1 or 2 comments or likes on your own wall. So maybe you need to, if you want to share these things with people, not just post them on your wall for your own sake, maybe you want to put it in a way that people you know have in your friend list understand. So maybe you need to, I mean, yeah.
I've also talked to him about that.
I offended by that. And the fact that I said, well, maybe you're not considering that people are, I'm calling him out for being prejudiced, because he is, but he's not, he's bundling people up and calling people selfish and prejudice, and people have to, so his idea is that if people just start speaking the same way, understand each other completely, there will be no prejudice. We'll have an idealistic, an ideal society, stuff like that. So I'm saying, but if everyone speaks the same language and understands each other perfectly, we will be. There will be no subjectivity. It's impossible for one. I'm saying that philosophically, a subject is subjective. We will only ever be able to have our own perspectives. We can never perfectly understand anyone. So it's only natural that language will develop in different branches, and that they will clash eventually because we have different agendas and all these things that society currently proves that we have. So he's being counterintuitive. It's like he wants everyone to get along and everyone to be like I'm calling him out to be kind of like the Borg, like assimilate everyone, because that will be a perfect society, right? But then he called me out for being elitist or something. and he wants. He says that I'm. It's on his page. It's on his own Facebook wall, public. So, and I was saying, I just want to help. I think you're a fascinating person. I think you're onto something. I think it's great that you want to bring people together. All these things, and I'm not calling. I mean, there's 3 people reading this. So how am I? How am I taking credit for being smart in your chat where 3 people are reading? It's not like that. I'm not. He thinks I'm pushing him around, being what do you call it, bullying him.
Well, it's easy to get triggered. I mean, it's like, again, you have to have the right key for the door. If you open it the wrong way, or you approach something a little bit too.
But he says that he's not. I'm not being sensitive. That's his words.
No,
in this chat.
He's got an emotional attachment to the belief. He's got an emotional attachment to the belief. Therefore, he's fucking much more triggered on what it means to him. Like when you're attacking him, you're attacking his intelligence, his way of thinking and stuff. It's basically like we're talking about with like the cult people. It's just different. It's a different way. He's not like a cult member, but just like that whole mentality of like, okay, I think this, and everyone else should think this way. And like you're either pointing out like things that he's not thinking about or whatever. And now he's like, oh, you're saying that you know this better than me, even though I'm the one that came up with it. But again, I always try to tell him like, you got to take the scientific method. If you put something out for peers to review, you want the peers to poke holes in it. You know why? Because then you can really rethink those parts of it and make a better form of it. Like people need to get better at that.
I told you earlier that I think I'm better than some people in this areas that I am well, and yep. I have an education in. But I told him openly, I'm not saying that I'm smarter than you in the areas that you're discussing. I'm just saying that because you are entering the area of behavioral sciences and organizational human beings, and I have expertise within that field, I'm saying that you're not considering. It appears to me that you're not considering the unknowns to you, a lot of unknowns that I can see that you're not considering, because you're saying that all people are selfish and don't want to take in the perspectives of other people. But how can that be when you want to take in people's... You want to promote taking other people's perspectives. So you can't say how 100% of people don't want to take in the perspectives of other people, because you're proving that thesis to be wrong. That's one. The second thing is the unknowables. How do you know which of the things you're making assertions about are actually unknowable? And you're just basing off intuition, which is what do you call it? Confirmation bias, survivorship bias, all these things. Your own population statistics. It's not what do you call it? It's not quantified. And I got pissed because I actually have a degree in this in statistics, not statistics, but I mean I have a degree, so we had tons of science courses, right? So that makes me very. I do come across like that to people like Brandon, and it doesn't make. So I have developed the thing that I told you earlier, that I try to listen more, and I try to say that I actually don't agree with the party that I'm voting for 50%, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I try to find to be philosophically. What do you call it? Humility. Humil.
Yep.
But I do kind of come across as we call it a bull in a china shop, right?
Sometimes it looks like that.
That's me.
Yeah, but it caused all the ruckus. Yeah, I'm
So
like,
now you know what to work on.
I'm gonna say, it's like, oh, you have this nice little thing here. Oh, I'm gonna challenge it with this. Knock it down. Collapse the system. I'm gonna destroy it, baby. Destroyer and then creator.
Yeah.
That sounds like that sounds like a pickup line.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share a meme. Wait, is it the general one or what? Do we post it?
General.
There's a girl in there though. Is that okay? Wait, where is it?
Look at it now. If she did. That face has a girl in it.
Chasing the dragon.
You're chasing the dragon.
But I'm chasing the dragon, and it's going in a big old hole.
It's been so ugly over here in Texas, man. It's been raining for like the last 4 days. Can't even go to my park and enjoy my little jog.
How far from the floods are you?
7 hours.
Okay, you got
7 hours.
Yeah, you got a ways.
Yeah. It's west of me. So it's right. It's actually west of San Antonio and Austin.
Okay, I got you.
So-
So you're more north.
Austin. Yeah.
No, to anyone else, it's just 1 hour, but he's really slow at biking.
You forgot.
I would never do that. I'll die half. No, I'll die 0.5 through. Right at the block.
Cowabunga, dudes! Why don't you just ride the skateboard on the floods?
Get yourself a sail and everything. Be creative. Yeah, man. They're like, I think it's like 70 people. 70 people died. Or I think it counts up to 70, and then 11 of the
I think it's
campers
100.
are still missing.
Oh, I think it's like 100.
Oh, that's
I think
nice.
it's 100 deaths and like 40, 50 people still missing.
Oh, I didn't even see the update.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
thought it
like
was 20.
Man, that flood was insane.
that's crazy.
I was like, sometimes I think about it. I'm like, did they not like
No,
think that anything was gonna happen?
no. Again, so
They should
people
have chose
don't
Mormonism.
people don't want to blame stuff, but it's like Trump fucking cut the NOAA and NSA money, the National Weather Service money. So I mean, like they didn't get the warnings because like they did because they just don't want to pay for it. It's like anything, you got to pay for these things.
People
you-
also live in Bangladesh, and there's a flood every day, like every year.
Alright.
And
Right.
I think what it's forcing is people to be more aware of their senses, to be more aware of what's going on.
They
It's
better.
like right now they're gonna test us, giving us of resources, and making us figure it out ourselves.
So like I was telling dude earlier, like honestly, I feel like this is one of those things. Like these people just need to have these things to happen. Like some of these people are so like hard headed. Like dude, you can't keep fucking cutting things that you use and think that you don't really like when bad things happen and you go, why did we have this? Well, we did have them, but you kept saying we can't afford this or we can't do this, and now you're realizing there's a lot of good that the government does. Like a lot of that $20 in taxes they take out of you actually does things that you want or need. I'm so sick of people blaming
It
the government for
contributes.
everything. Well, yeah, like the government's not perfect. I'm not saying it is, but to act like it does you literally no good or nothing like that, it's like you're fucking silly. Like we all rely on the government to an extent. Obviously, some less than others, but like I'm saying something like this. Like these people thought, oh, we don't need to pay for the weather service. Like we already know. Like we were talking about earlier, they're trying to privatize it. Like there's no money to be made in privatizing. So what benefit are you going to do? It's going to do no benefit to nobody. And now you're just hurting people, and you're cutting this money to fund the rich people. That's always a problem too. But oh, FY, there's at least there's 100 dead and at least 160 people missing. That's the update like an hour ago.
Christ, dude.
It's huge.
Guess they picked the wrong belief system. Yeah, it's crazy, man. We're supposed to believe that God saves those who follow him, and then these things happen.
Oh, I already know that's always.
Well,
strange.
I mean, I guess it's really about it's more than that. It's not just that.
Of course, it is.
That's like a little nick in the haystack.
Yeah.
That's
Is
what
that
the like. I'm just
This
saying
is
that
this is this is
That's like-
this is red as
the right
fuck
way?
area.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah,
Trump.
people
This
can
is
all-
the typical.
This is Trump
Yeah, you
territory
know.
to the max.
Oh, excuse me. What, the one that got flooded?
Yeah, this area. This is Trump area. So I'm saying like these people are pretty much. I guarantee you, like the Christian. I bet like 95% of people here are Christian, if not more. Ugh.
Do you guys
This
have
was-
slug?
Do I what?
Oh, look at the slug. Yeah, we got slugs over there.
Leopard slug. They eat the eggs of the killer, the brown or black, the Spanish black snail. They eat the eggs of those.
We got a little psychopath over there.
Right.
Oh, they're fucking everywhere. They crawl out. There's a heavy mist. Taking the dog out.
Yeah, so I recorded. I did a little recording of a lizard, and it was two lizards that they were attacking a worm, and the worm was obviously injured. You know, he's twitching and rolling around, and the lizard was just looking at it, and he stood there just watching it twitch away. And then I realized, well, that's when the second lizard came, and he was looking at it from a distance, and you can kind of see the ants just kind of running around the worm, and it was almost like the lizard say, "Here you go. This is gonna be a sacrifice for us, for you guys, like a contribution." Let me see if I can post it in the Discord.
Every morning there's a new massacre because at the night they come out and they pile up on someone that's dead. And there's always dead legs because the cars hitting them on the pavement.
And that's gonna force them to grow legs, and then they're gonna be able to run away a lot faster. Evolution.
So
Yeah, well, eventually.
it's summer, so it's bright outside, and it's 3 a.m. But when it's darker, you have to look down, and you have to have a flashlight on because you'll crack the ones with the shell.
Harold Crunch, where the heck is that video?
There was a comedian who said that the worst feeling in the world is accidentally stepping on a snail with the shell. Yeah. But the best feeling in the world is that when you intentionally step on a snail with the shell.
You get to prepare for the crunch.
So who was that guy, by the way?
That
The
was
guy who
Brian.
left.
Yeah,
I
Brian.
didn't like that imagery either.
Yeah, Brian. Brian was surprised he didn't talk.
Well, he did like 3 words.
He might be back. That's weird. Snails are they're interesting organisms. I couldn't imagine stepping on one. I watched my parents do like step on bugs and squash bugs and some of my other relatives, and it's very disturbing to me now. At this point in my life.
So everyone has probably torched like an ant when they were a kid with the magnifying glass. But has anybody tried doing that with a slug? Just asking.
I did. I did. I
Perfect.
was curious. You know, and I also tried salt. I wanted to see what salt would do to it. Yeah, I kind of experimented. I was a little demon when I was a child.
Well, my neighbor
Yeah.
is cutting them. Everyone is cutting them over here, but so she asked me to cut one of them, and I could do one. I just can't. It's just I have this what do you call it? Discomfort.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, over time, you don't want to start to enjoy it.
It poured out. It was disgusting.
Yeah, it's just fucked up. You just don't know any better. I mean, again, this shows me the power of the Western paradigm, where it's this idea of where we're put on the earth to dominate creatures and all the other anything that's not human is less than, except for the angels and the archangels and God. They're above us, and then we're at our made in God's image status, and then all the other creatures are just little meat machines that kind of keep doing their causally influenced thing forever, and we get to choose how we treat them because of that. And I see it in the way that conservative people treat their animals, and just it's really sad, man. Or not
Yeah,
so much
so
conservative, like just like hardcore traditionalist conservative Christians will do that.
So if God made us in His image, we should be extremely. He should also be extremely flawed, and all those things.
You would think.
God should also be gay, transsexual, and everything that human beings are, because God made us. So that's weird
Yeah.
that they don't accept that.
I mean, it's easy to slip into. 'Cause again, it brings me back to the metabolic efficiency angle, where it's just easier on the brain to create a narrative and construct a perspective for itself to navigate the world with, if it's just everything else that's less than you. That's probably why, I mean, we're so tribal. We do it with humans. We do it with anyone that looks or smells or sounds a little bit different than us as humans. And of course, we do it to things that aren't human at all. That's it's extremely easy to look down on otherwise. And then you make these arguments, and I'll make the argument, and I'll say the ants do have brains, and ants do feel, and these insects that you're squishing, these moths are just butterflies of the night. They just look different, and they're not as appealing to you. And moths are just butterflies of the night. They just look different, and they're not as appealing to you. And I will be laughed at for saying that. A lot of times they'll just scoff, like, "Wow, you're just overthinking it again with the whole overthinking it thing." And it's like, no, you can't really overthink this one. Everything has an incredible complexity, incredible levels of experience and phenomenology, and the fact that you don't know, that's where it really comes together for me. Once I was like in my early 20s and studying Robert Sapolsky and human biology and animal biology, it just shows me how deeply intricate the nervous systems, circulatory systems of these animals are, and plants, and how we don't know hardly anything about their phenomenological experience, like what it's like to be a bat, what it's like to be our pets, and so on and so forth. And so we impose our human perspectives, and we anthropomorphize them at best sometimes, or that's what you see when people do try to care. And then you have kind of like a higher level of care where you have the vets that are working with them and actually study animal biology. And then you have like the Jains, the Ahimsa Jainists, where they're always thinking about that all the time and trying not to step on insects and being extremely mindful, which I did after doing that for about a year or two myself. That stuck with me, and I look back on that part of my absolute disgusting to imagine the individual that I was to have heard those things. Or I did this whole thing, and I watched a friend burn an ant, and I watched a friend burn a caterpillar with thunder.
Burn what?
Yeah, not gonna lie.
It
Just sounded like
Yeah,
Stephen Hawking.
you're cutting out for a minute. What were they burning? Do.
But
There you go. So I'm a whole day without my medication. Talk about being miserable today. Oh my goodness. It's pretty rough. It's like a crash. It's like you start going through withdrawal.
Yeah, I had a headache until like 7 p.m. because I didn't have coffee all day.
Mm.
That is weird. I mean, you forget, but then you get the headache. Damn.
Yeah. Like anything you introduce your body to on a regular, it gets used to operating. Or when you wake up, going straight for that coffee or dopamine or norepinephrine. Yeah, because when I take Adderall, I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole, but when I don't take it, it's like I have to start off with no energy in the slightest. So I think there has to be a transitioning, specific transitioning, the weaning off of it as well. Because the way I see it is I'm taking this medication for it to assist me with creating a routine that I can follow. And once the routine is solidified and I can do it while being weaned off the medication, I think it'll be beneficial for long term.
That's exactly my plan. That's exactly what I'm after.
Yeah, I think people who try to utilize it as a long term fix, think those are just people who don't want to or who aren't aware of it, of that specific dynamic they need to address, or they're just being lazy and using it as a form of escapism.
Yeah.
There's people that get addicted to Adderall.
A lot of people get addicted to
There
Adderall.
are people that are about years.
You said you were addicted to Adderall?
No, I'm saying I know a lot of people that were.
Oh.
Or what's the other one? Vyvanse.
Oh, yeah.
Same
I
but
was
different.
on too.
I will say when I had my kid, when she was like born, baby, whatever, shit like that, when I was doing all-nighters because of work, because I worked overnights and then had to stay up and deal with that, I was doing a lot of them for staying up reasons.
Oh, I get it, man. That's a lot of people in the medical field do too. I mean, honestly, in my field too.
I feel like a lot of people just in general do. If you have a fucking strenuous schedule and you got to stay up to do something, I suppose you just do it,
Yep.
Carlos
Like
is speaking about cornfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was outstanding in his field.
Who's outstanding in his field? You?
You are.
Did you hear about the scarecrow that was exception that exceptional scarecrow? I can't remember it exactly, but he was outstanding in his field.
Mm-hmm.
Scarecrow. Yes, that's funny. That's a good one.
That's pretty good.
I love those kind of jokes.
The dad jokes. The double entendres.
I'm super corny. So any joke is funny to me.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
And they're like, "Are you really laughing?" Yes, I'm really laughing.
Mm-hmm.
You know Winnie the Pooh's friend Tigger. He has a fat African cousin. I don't know why he's African. I probably. Anyway, Tigger's fat cousin, Bigger.
Bigger?
Sorry. I wrote down that he's African, a fat African cousin, but I have no idea where I was going to go with that.
Tigers are from Africa. Tigers are from Africa.
Oh, maybe that is. I have no idea.
I think there's some. I think there's some in Russia. There's Siberian tigers, and then there's like African tigers. I think those like the last two. There might be some in some Asian culture. I can't remember which part. If it's like Mongolia or if it's China or wherever. But there's only like 3-4 of them.
That can, that whole thing can go pretty left. I can go pretty left fast. But that's all right because there's people that are gonna accept that, and they'll say worse shit than what that is. They go with the actual racist route. It'll really bridge the joke together,
So sometimes I don't write the full joke. I just have like the notes for it. So I wrote down the notes, joke about the Asians who control food, and that's their rise to power.
It's their rise to power.
I mean, someone probably did it before, but I do come up with these things, and then I Google them, and I see there are thousands of hits.
Yeah. It's all right. You still
He
came up-
wasn't creative.
If you didn't read it beforehand, it still was brand new to you.
Did you hear about the potato ruler who apparently was a bit of a prick? His informal title was dictator.
It's not. That's funny. I've made a joke like that before. That's ridiculous.
Dictator. That's good. That's good.
I was referring to someone who was acting like a dictator while we were playing a game together, and I said you're acting like a potato with a penile appendage.
Dictator.
Sophisticated.
There's gonna be a
Right,
new cereal invented with all of the famous Richards, like Richard Lionheart, Richard Nixon, and all the fucking kings of Richards and all that shit. So when you hand it to somebody, you can tell them to eat a whole bag of dicks.
Man, y'all can't see my shirt. But yeah, okay.
I
It's
just-
not just flags. It's freaking
Cats.
kitties.
I love cats.
Holding-
I got one laying next to me sleeping.
Yeah, it's like cats and freaking
Yes.
fireworks
Nice.
and cats. It's a ridiculous shirt.
Flag.
It's like $3 at thrift store. All right, y'all want to play some brawl? Are you still playing?
No, yeah,
Risk?
we're good. Yeah, I'm about to lose anyways. We're good. I'll play. I'm about to hop on.
Shit.
Let's see here.
Switch.
News today.
Privileged to have.
Did you see that they sent a bunch of fucking Marines and shit to a park in California today to like threaten like Latino people to get out of the park and shit? It's like really fucking crazy.
No. I won't see that.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It's
Well, right
fucking,
there. Yeah, again, I'm not surprised. Every time I
That's-
hear one of these stories,
I know
it's
it's
like,
yep. That's always
that
the
probably
problem.
happened.
We're
Yeah.
so that's what's that's kind of what happens. I think like with like if you think about like Hitler and like Nazi shit, right? Like when the people were watching this happen, I bet they kind of went through that whole process of like you just get numb to bad things, so like it becomes normal. Like it shouldn't be normal, right? Like South Park did a whole joke about this with like school shootings and shit. Like in America, right? We have school shootings all the time. Like the kids were having like class and like there's a school shooting going on, and then they just kept taking the
Great
test and shit.
episode.
You know, but it is a great episode. But it's just like, at what point
Yeah.
do you
very
just like you become so numb to things that are so bad that like, they're not bad no more, right? Like that's I try to stress to people like these are still evil and horrible things we should not be doing, right? Like they're just morally reprehensible, whatever. Like you shouldn't be sending out military people to threaten people in a park, right? Like that's all it was a show force. Like it wasn't they weren't there to like raid nobody or do anything. They just told to go there, scare people basically. Like ugh.
You know what the championship of Mario Kart in the German version is called?
No.
It must be the Master Race, right?
ridiculous.
There's a video on like YouTube. It's pretty fucking funny. It's called the Amazing Racist, or it's Mario Racist or something like that. But it's Super Mario doing a whole thing that's fucking hilarious. It's not even racist like that.
You know what-
He just kills all like the non-Nintendo characters.
Do you know which race competition has the most participants in the vehicles?
The human race.
IndyCar. IndyCar 500.
Indica 500.
Jeez.
Uh,
Hello, Mike. No time. That was good. If you guys hear something in the background, don't worry. That's my massager.
Shit.
Your
What's her name?
order?
What's her name?
Her name is Georgina.
Georgie. Georgie. Come down here, Georgie. I got balloons. Pop, pop, pop.
Usually when you have a good sleep and then you wake up and the sleep's not so good. You're all pinked up. What's that room number?
Hold on, I'm trying to resolve conflict. Brian left because he doesn't like the escargot joke. Oh, that wasn't the snail joke. That's lame. I do wonder.
What?
Those are
Yeah, I'll
lame.
entertain it because if he didn't speak up, then at the end of the day, that's up to him.
Sphincter says what?
He left because he didn't like the snail jokes.
Who cares?
Yeah, but Sphincter says what?
His asshole says what? I don't know. Thing is,
It's Wayne's World.
I don't get why. I don't know what. Even if he didn't like a joke, it wasn't like it was like a derogatory joke or anything. So I don't get what the fuck the big deal was. But okay,
Why is he French? Off French?
maybe. Who knows?
Maybe he hasn't come out of his shell.
Okay.
And that's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
I don't know why we don't threaten people. We don't. It's like we don't put a gun to your head. If you don't like something like that, well, we could dial it back. Or I mean,
It is weird to feel. Yeah, that did kind of set me weird too. To say that it feels good to squish a snail. I didn't know. But I mean, it's a joke. You
yeah,
know, like address it with man. Say how it makes you feel. I said how it made me feel. I said I feel disgusted by people doing that kind of shit around me.
You did. You
But
said you
also,
wouldn't kill.
like,
You
I
said you
get-
wouldn't kill a moth and shit. Like I know. I remember that whole little thing you went through. That's the thing. Like if you had a problem with it, you could have just said like, "Hey man, just don't say that." Like, "Oh, cool, my bad." But even then, it's pretty. I'm saying in general, it's
counterpoint.
a pretty weak thing to be mad about in general. But
oh, I mean, it's just the lack of boundary that he put for himself.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, he avoid confrontation instead of doing what he needs to do.
I'm making assumptions.
that too. There's a lot of that too.
He's the term sadist.
You know, honestly, that's why I don't like when I get in, like Facebook things. I hate sometimes because like you can't really read the context or like how they're saying. You know, like there's things like, are you talking shit without me noticing, or are you like actually doing what I think you're doing, or not? You know, like that's why I tell people like I just rather talk to you. So I can tell in your tone of voice and shit. Like I can tell. You know, it's easier to connect.
Oh, words too. You just have to look at the pattern and how they're writing.
You're right.
That takes a long.
It's more like
long
the first
process.
ones. It's like I said. I get it. Like once it's already happening, I get it. But it's more like that first like mini. Like, is this a fucking shot? Like, are we about to get in like a? We're gonna argue for real, or is this like you're just
Yeah.
joking? Because sometimes people are like, oh, I was just joking. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't fucking know. Like, I was about to be like, I was about to snap off and be like, what the fuck, you know? Like, or sometimes I think it is a joke, and I'll be like, oh, you're dead ass serious. You fucking meant what you said earlier. Oh, okay, all right. Now I got to change my perception of fucking how this conversation is going. But I feel like
Well,
when you're talking, I can hear it in your voice and your tone and stuff. It becomes easier. I'm saying.
I can't accept my word. I can't send my word video.
Okay, here's the room number.
Yes.
It's a good one. It's 952-666.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, we're the devil.
The Devils of Valhalla. Mixing two
Do you
different
guys
religions.
play the same game? Is it like Brawlhalla or whatever?
Yep.
Damn, Skippy.
What do you play on computer or console?
Damn, Skippy.
I play on a PC, but you can play on anything.
I play on Xbox.
Yeah, I'm saying you can play on anything.
Play it on my calculator.
You could. Just kidding. You got a TI-82,
I
right?
have Yeah, I have a Casio color graph,
Oh,
which I used over 20 years ago. What is it? 25 years ago.
sheesh.
So
Oh, Halo.
the Supreme Court
I'm turning.
the Supreme Court just ruled that Trump can start doing mass layoffs of people that he disagrees with politically, which is again funny because he's gonna be cutting from the VA. And as a person that works in the bar and I hear a lot of old fucking vets talking shit about the VA, you're about to lose like 2,000 fucking workers. So it's like again, you're voting completely opposite of the shit you need in life, and it kind of makes me laugh in a way, but it's like it's so sad in another way. It's just like, the fuck are people doing?
Conform ideology.
See?
Do-do-do-do-boo.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yo.
child.
Oh,
Well,
Hot bitch in the city.
frack. Freaking fracking. I hope we learn how to stop fracking.
Stop tracking? That's not happening. We just put
Stop
the government
tracking.
just did the
yeah, but I hear that ping, 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 ping.
oh.
Oil fracking.
Oil frack. Well, not anymore. We got good, clean coal.
No, we're doing both.
Well,
He's trying
you
to
know
do
what
it.
the thing is? You can do both, but he's gonna stop the subsidies for fucking solar and wind. And then I was listening to this one thing. He's like, China doesn't even have that many solar, not solar, windmill things, whatever, wind turbines, and they lead the world in it. It's so funny. It's like they actually have the most, but they act like they don't.
You be acting.
Do do do. Do 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 do.
What incarnation?
Dang nabbit, Cletus.
Playing better. Alright, turn on better playing mode. Activate it.
Oh,
It's 3:30, and we're going to bed.
All right,
think-
my brother. I appreciate hanging out, though.
Word.
Have a
Have
good
a good night,
night.
man.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye. It is late for him.
man.
Just listen.
Do, do, do.
Nothing better. A back massage. I'm playing the game.
Hell yeah.
I should get my back beside her.
I've been thinking about buying a fucking big ass massage chair eventually someday. That's some of the next money I might spend money
Don't
on.
do it.
Huh?
I wish I could. Yeah.
They're not as
Also,
good.
they're a bitch to move. They weigh so much, and you got to try to move them to another place. It's hell, man. I was at a moving company once, and we had to move one of those up flight stairs. It was absolutely insane.
Really?
And they'll break eventually, and it's so hard to get them repaired. Just get one of the ones that's like they're like $100 or so. The brand is Snailax.
Snail.
That's probably the best brand. And it's just you just set them behind you on your couch or whatever. it's like a whole back platform that just has all the stuff just for your back. And then you can get like if you want one for your feet or for your neck or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you can get that
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
See, like this is the one I need.
Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, I have one.
Yeah,
Of those.
those are really nice. Mine's a combo.
But
It's like the back one.
I guess
Yeah.
just hug it and put it against the hair.
Oh yeah, feels so
So
good.
good. Only $30.
No.
It's better than paying for a fucking $80 massage.
No, I get you.
The full ones are like $2,000 and then the back ones are usually like $80 to $120,000. And then the back ones are usually like $80 to $120 or so. It depends on which one you get. If you get a good one, it'll be.
Yeah, I see some for like 220, 200, give or take.
Yeah. So let me tell you how yesterday.
I'll get an open box one. It's not used, but open box.
You get an even bigger discount with open boxes. That's what I always go for. I don't care if it's brand new or not. I'm cheap.
Hmm.
So yesterday, I ended up hanging out with people from the church, right? And you know, these are really successful people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt so weird being. It's like you guys clearly have money, and like I get it. You know, I'm not like poor, but I have my own shit. But like you could see that there was a significant difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like just in the way we talked about what we did for work, it was like you could see that there was a disconnection. Almost like they were looking down on me, and I'm like, you guys are ugh.
Yeah,
Like-
it can be that too. I mean, sometimes that'll happen, and you think that's happening, and then sometimes it's actually happening because like you project your assumption. But
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to make that assumption from the rip, definitely. But you can see the underlying pattern at the end, and that's one of the things I used to struggle with a lot because I didn't read a lot. I couldn't understand social cues and all that. But I got better at deciding on whether if it was something that they were just going through, or if it was directed towards me. Come on.
yeah, I probably don't know. Most people are doing that kind of stuff unconsciously. Anyway. But
Well, people act awkward around me. It's like I get it, you know. I do get why I come off like that because if I don't know you, I have like this really stoic look to me, and it's like I don't want to say intimidating, but like people don't know what to think of it. It's like I'm nice, I'm nice. Just don't treat me like an asshole. It's like you realize that when you have that stoic mentality,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that would survive. So that's my normal go-to thing. My versus bitch face.
Hmm.
As long as you feel threatened by it and you have questions, hey, I answer them. We'll be really good friends.
Do do do.
Oh, oh.
Boosh. Boosh, fucker. Motherfucker.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah.
Move, bitch. Get
Yeah,
out the way. Double bang.
like dead.
Oh, shit.
I had a whole life weed.
Huh?
I had a whole life ahead. No, it's all you guys.
That was the word. Was doing a heavy lifting in that statement there.
Fuck. Stop getting caught in your time.
Yeah. No! Get back!
No.
So
No! Got me
Oh,
on
no.
the backswing. Fuck it. Ah,
hit you with that teeth.
Can't take the axe.
a pickaxe with Cyclacto. Snail axe. Yeah. They're like 200 to $250, give or take now.
For what?
For that snail axe brand he was talking about for like, the massage shit. Depends on how much you want. They go from like 200 to
Black
like
Friday. Man, imagine it being 3 o'clock in the morning and being light out. Oh, that's heaven. It's heaven.
Putin might have probably just killed one of his people. Hold on. On Monday morning, Putin has sacked his transport minister, Roman Stratilov. By the afternoon, Stratilov was dead. His body was discovered in a park on the edge of Moscow with a gunshot wound to his head.
I'm gonna ask my Russian friend about that. See
Yeah,
what the
just-
story is over there.
It just happened 8 hours ago, this story.
Well, that's crazy.
That is fucking crazy.
Man,
Who was
Russia,
It was
Beautiful.
it was a Russian transport minister. So like probably like our Department of fucking what's the one that does the roads? I can't think of it now. Hold on.
Transportation.
Transportation, yeah.
Why would he be mad at him?
Think of it now. Hold on.
Why would he be mad at him?
I don't know. Obviously, the
Sounds like
Russian,
a Russian-
the Russian people are saying for sure that it was a suicide. You know, it was a suicide.
I'm sure.
But apparently, it was like after like a couple hours after he fucking had a conversation with them about some shit. I guess so. Who fucking knows? Obviously, they must have had a big disagreement about. I'm assuming like Ukraine. Be my guess.
Hmm. I'd like to get one hit. Just one hit before I die.
Hmm. Ugh, I hate when my internet sucks all of a
Oh.
sudden.
don't look at me.
Motherfucker. No.
Oh no! Oh, fuck! That was so lucky.
Oh. Fucker.
What'd you get?
Oh,
That's what you get.
I know.
Oh, Trump's current FBI is launching criminal investigation on his last two former FBI agents, John Brennan and James Comey. Who would have thought? The guy ran on fucking revenge is taking revenge. Who would have thought?
Shit.
Who would have thought? Ugh.
It's a sacrifice that I either got backfired today.
Restaurant store.
30 chairs, non-squeak.
Restaurant store.
15
Oh, that was the first
non-wobbly
movie.
tables.
Restaurant store.
Add
How did you get
No.
the site? Did you switch weapon?
Hmm?
That's cheap.
Here's on the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, very close.
You know, that last one, I was like,
Good. Fate's hard to use. You can try to use her. She's one of the hardest.
yeah. I can't use her.
Life and the orb. Both really tricky weapons.
Oh.
Yes.
Hmm. It's funny. I went on Fox.com for the first time forever. There are 5 things that you can click on are trending, Texas flood, big beautiful bill, Trump news, and radical New York City candidate. Like those are your top 5 things you can click on. How nice. That's the propaganda feed they're sending everybody.
What they do, man?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
the fucking cycle of the same shit.
Wow.
Variations.
It's so
They're
crazy.
trying to make it 5 minutes of the actual Fox News. It's tough. Like actually watch the show for a bit. There's one show. It's called the Ingram Angle or something.
Yeah, Laura Ingram.
Or it's
show.
like literally the
Gross.
angle. Like they use the angle as the name of the show, just blatantly exemplifying how they have a particular angle on something and it's not actually the accurate fact. It's just their take on it.
It's
And like this is, and they'll say things like that, like this is the take or whatever. Like this, is not even hiding it. It's people just
They
eat it
don't
up.
hide anything
Like, yep,
anymore.
that's the right take.
Yeah, and if you
Do
have
the
to
thinking
agree.
for me.
If you don't agree with me, then you're my enemy.
It's just sad how blatant that is.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Oh, oof.
Oh shit. Oh, I thought I thought I was one
That
to
was-
get knocked off. Oh, now I am.
I was trying to do my secret spell. I'll try to move.
I was looking at the wrong thing.
Forever to try.
Hold on. I guess whatever. Hello. What's up? Nothing much. What's happening? In 15 days, whatever. 2 weeks from Friday. The 20. Well, I don't know. Fucking date. 25th, maybe. 2 weeks from Friday. No, yeah, the 25th. I think it's the date.
I caught it.
Sure. Why, sure. Oh. So like normal. Yay. Yeah, it's important. Well,
Oh, I missed the turn.
uh-huh,
Little itch.
uh-huh. Well, in the end, I don't get to see you during the, you can come up any time during the day, technically. I know. Well, you can come here. I mean, you could have came here every Tuesday. You're always welcome. Yeah. Are you? You got like constant migraines? Probably. Sure. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, well,
It just said shit.
Mm-hmm. We can't be having no more debacles. Mm. Not even. I'm only gonna be gone for 9 days. I bet. I don't. I don't care, and I don't know. I told them 6 months ago, so that's on them to figure it out. I'm assuming Megan and Amy and Ashley will be my guess. Who in what order? I do not know. But like I said, that's why I booked it so long in advance. I'm like, well, you can't tell me I can't go. Figure it out. I don't give a fuck.
wow. Let's do the same thing.
How far are you on the conquest now? You like
Really predictable. Whatever.
I'm in sector 2.
I'm like, oh, you better let us see. Yeah.
I've been doing what you told me.
That was 3 for 3.
There's a lot of Bad Batch, some Spectra.
Good.
I'm almost done with
Oh,
one.
yes, God.
Yeah, you get the Bad Batch and the.
Hey, you were
one
getting
thing
pretty
done at the
freaking
same
high.
time, so yeah.
Or when you're moving across.
And then in sector 2, you
Yeah,
gotta
okay.
use
Up.
a lot of Leia team, and you gotta use a lot of
Fate used to be one of my main
C with Emperor
trying to
Palpatine for the Hellsteel.
skills back there.
Man, when you use ransom, you usually
Mm-hmm.
kick ass.
That's who it'd be.
Hey, not that it matters now because it's already passed, but
I
just
don't
out of
want
curiosity, I am so fucking tired of. Well, you already know ROTE pisses me off. But on the dark
What
side
it-
of the ships,
What?
Tarkin.
What it- 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 what it-
The ships.
What?
Tarkin.
What it- 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 what it-
Is this normal
what it- what it-
With the ships?
what it- what
Yeah.
it-
putting the right ships in? I'm like,
what it- what it-
fuck.
Yeah, you lose pretty much everything. That's why we don't even have to do it,
what it- what it-
really.
Oh, I hate that one. The ship
there it is.
and
Everyone
dark
hates the
side.
ship. Everyone hates that ship.
Oh, I didn't know if you stepped away or something.
It's just, I mean, he's Relic 7, but I don't know.
I mean, I've done it a couple times randomly with not Tarkin.
The two of them.
Yeah.
I got approved for my new apartment today.
I think I tried
Now I gotta
Oh, yeah.
fucking once. And
It
I
takes
think
so
I
long.
paused it. I don't know. I can't
I gotta
remember.
do everything myself, so
Probably.
make multiple trips.
I don't like that one, so I never win, so.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
this
Yeah,
time
man.
around, I had to put
That's a
in
good feeling.
8 fucking
Yeah.
characters
Nice.
and a ship.
The house sucks.
Really?
You know, it has no sunlight.
Why am
The
I-
living room is darker than my actual
That's when I
room.
hit 2, which was a blessing. I
feels like I'm in a prison cell.
Gas,
Oh.
cat, and I know. But yeah, a lot of my strong people, you know, cat and gas, and I can't remember who else I did, but it's just like, fuck off. I can't, you know.
Okay, you fucking.
If I can't win a battle, then fuck.
Oh.
I mean, like I said, I'm assuming they don't care then. That's fine.
That's why I only.
I mean, maybe they just know that I'm not that great of a player.
Oh,
and
that also
they're
hits from the ground.
sacrificing me to put my good people in,
That's
so
not broken.
I don't know.
I mean, even if that is the case, at least you did your job for the guild and you'll get your rewards.
Yeah,
My
I get
up
it.
special is also an over special
Happens,
phase.
and I have to rack my brain trying to figure out, okay, what the fuck am I gonna use now?
Oh,
I mean, gas I don't usually use.
swing better
The
swing.
gas team, and I don't put them in with my JKL, whatever, whoever the fuck, JKL, whatever, one of them.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't put, yeah.
Sky.
Not Kenobi, but yeah, him. Yeah, JMK. I don't put him in. I use, you know, Padme usually when I win, but I don't know.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh.
You can use is all your whatever team Relic 7? What the fuck's her name?
JML?
No. Jar Jar's team. What the fuck? Gungans.
Three.
Oh, the Gungans? Yeah, they're all Relic 7. Jar Jar himself is 9, I think.
Yeah, so either way.
So you try to hit me with that.
That team too.
That gummy thing.
Yeah.
On the light side.
This thing just, it annoys me. It's like the last thing I do at night, and then I go to bed, I'm like, fuck it. I hate ROTE. It takes forever. 6 days. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I dread it.
Mm.
But
I
then
hear
when
it.
you don't have ROTE, then it's like, I have nothing to do. Yay. And I'm
Oh,
sad.
you missed.
Oh, you'd be,
How did that miss?
probably be pissed off at me, but I don't know what to do.
I got so lucky. He's hitting me. Freaking wait.
It has a small hitbox, but that's fair.
Because I know it's gonna
Characters
be coming
are
out
pretty.
soon. But
I know.
yeah, all my is it Cantina where you can get the blue, the green, and the white box thing or whatever it is?
Blue, green, white box.
Hey, Wizard of Oz. Oh, how many we're looking at the wrong part? Oh,
The signals or whatever
Still-
you need.
Oh, okay, yeah.
got the wrong
Those
version.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the blue square one, the blue and white square one or whatever.
You
that
get
one
like
I got over 1,000 saved
Yeah.
up.
mm-hmm.
And the blue and the green, I'm over 800 on both of those.
Yeah.
So
So what are
after
you
you
saving
and
for?
him. No, bro.
For Balin?
I got
You only need like 175, so what are you saving the rest for?
Oh.
Well, that's just
He's not.
the thing, isn't it? I've got
So you missed me.
Balin saved up. I now have 4 Omnicron saved up. I need 3 for Balin, so I know
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
And that's if I put all 3 of them on him. I
And
don't
you
know
are.
if I need to or not.
Yes, you do. But okay, go on.
Yeah. And yeah, 8 Zetas, and I only need 3, so I got 5 extras.
So yeah, what do you
And
say?
I'm like, yeah,
what-
what should I do? And I'm like, I don't know. What should I do?
What should
So
you
I
do?
Oh.
just save them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing. See, I need
Oh,
my
so-
playtime with my friend Wally, who got me into this game and got me all sucked in, and now I can't get out of it, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't
I
want to
mean-
make stupid mistakes.
You put them on the new characters, the Empire people, probably.
The clone troopers.
Uh-oh, Breeze home. Apparently the cat took off.
Oh no.
Not really, just goes out of the house.
Yeah, be careful with their other special moves. They take a long time to charge up.
Hey, do you have a Speaking of the cats, do you have a water dish that's like battery operated, like a fountain?
Uh-huh.
What kind do you have? Because I want to switch my cats over to, because they're always out of water. And
Right to that.
I don't know.
water
I have to ask
froze up.
Brianna. She buys all that shit.
Got him with
That's
the
her domain.
Hodoken.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out which one's the best one to buy. Switch them over to a fountain.
I have no
Some-
clue what she got.
Cook bits in here.
Wow.
What am I gonna
Ooh.
Alright then. Well, Doug and I are going to go grab something dinner. He just got off work at 8:30. Or
Nice.
yeah, and
What are
then
you
Richard
doing?
Dalton to come over, get groceries.
Oh, yeah?
Make some salmon tonight.
Well, I'm just waiting. I have to go to Wells Fargo to get euros. My bank
That's what I
won't do
forgot
it.
to
It said
get.
Wells Fargo does.
Cereal.
Oh, you don't have an account with Wells
Girls
Fargo.
just forgot cereal.
Of course not.
I remember you
Cat
closed
sneaks
that
out the
bitch
front
when you were
door,
pissed at
gets
him.
scared, and only will come in the back.
Rightfully so.
I know. Hey, Mama. What's the fountain that we
It's
used
not
for
like
the
I eat
kitties?
cereal
The water
anyway.
fountain that you got? What was the brand?
It's like sometimes you crave it.
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, there's some good cereal out there. I started making real fancy parfaits a while
Why?
Oh,
Is it
nice.
big?
That's good.
Just go on Amazon
Greek
and just look up
yogurt
water
and
fountains, and you'll
raw
find a
buffalo
bunch
honey
on there,
and
and just get a stainless steel.
granola, like
Doesn't
Love
matter
Crunch
which one. I
granola,
mean,
or some kind of like the healthiest
have
granola I can
filters
find,
all
and
this other bullshit.
clementine
Charcoal
berries.
something.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
I just,
Mommy, hold on, quiet.
Just
Hold on.
pick one.
just
I don't
picked
know.
up some
I
fresh
like, honestly,
blueberries
I
and
just- They
strawberries.
get kind of slimy if you have.
Need some
like,
yogurt. I have the honey
dogs,
oat,
do you?
honey and
Yeah,
oat
well,
granola.
Oh, that'll be fine. Does they get tend to get a
Yeah, we
little
did that.
slimy? You have to, give
Dark
them a good
chocolate
clean, like, once
granola is
every,
pretty good.
6 weeks, but
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not too
sometimes
bad.
I use
Oh,
dark
you have to
chocolate
change
as
the
well.
filter.
I honestly it came with
Oh,
two.
healthier.
I've only
Still
changed
got
it
that
to
little
once.
craving
I
that
honestly
you
just
have.
give the filter a good rinse.
See, I never had chocolate
Honestly,
when I was
you
a
don't even
kid,
have
so
to have a
when I
filter if you
when I
don't.
got older, I was like, oh,
It's just like
what's
honestly a little
this?
thing that just sits in there. So I mean, it's not like
Chocolate.
honestly the end of the world if you don't have a filter. Like it's not like a super like crazy filter system.
Mommy, what's this?
Yeah, but I have hard
Yeah.
water. I don't have soft water.
That's
shit.
fine.
Oh, gotcha.
But what
What is it?
Internet.
What
Oh. Why do you need so many in it?
Yeah.
I really hate this slice.
I think we might have to get a soft water thingy.
Yeah, you live in Andover. You guys have shitty water out there.
Yeah.
You guys are about to switch though, because you guys are forced to.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
guys are gonna have to switch now, because you're gonna be forced to.
You know, I'm coming back to you because you over here causing
Yeah,
problems.
fucking my dad finally they got
You
water.
go, stay down there.
They haven't had water forever
Wow.
because of the sewers, whatever.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay,
Yeesh. Yeah, I usually just give the cats bottled water.
just
you know?
that.
Sometimes.
Out of here.
At least Carl and out in the garage because I'm too lazy to go in the house and
Yeah.
get it. So. But yeah. Alright, well, we're gonna go get something to eat. So I'll just chat at you later. I'll see you. Maybe I'll try to come in early on Thursday and chat.
You can. It's always an option.
Oh, he's so lucky that missed.
I don't know.
It's always a possibility.
Oh, I did
Yeah,
wrong,
it's
but
always a possibility. I usually try to get in earlier. But yeah, sometimes it's just difficult for me to move. It's like, no, I don't want to go to work. Don't
I get
make
it.
me.
I get it.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you bought Soundhound
Can I
at? I
deliver
think
this?
you should be up money. I can't remember what you bought it at. You bought it at 13.
Maybe. You put it in for me. Yeah, I think it was 13 or 12.
All right. Well, it's almost.
Guys, we want deliverance.
Huh. I'll have to take a look. I haven't looked at that.
Oh, I can deliver it. It's just really slow.
I
Okay, special
yeah,
delivery.
I look at it every day. I look at it every day, damn near.
Yeah,
Very slow.
I know. I know you do.
Well, I got so much to play with.
Rich man.
And
All right.
yeah.
I'll talk to you on Thursday
Yeah, he
or earlier.
just be tossing me out there
Alright,
like
then.
that.
Yeah.
Like I'm a
Thanks, love. Love you.
Boo bye.
like I'm a
Just wanted
kid.
to-
Oof. So lucky I missed that.
Boosh. Get kicked the fuck out. Boop.
About,
Boop.
about to say you screwed both of us with that one.
I did fuck us.
I want to get this freaking gravity canceled. I don't know.
How did I hit us with that one?
Oh man. Ugh.
No. No.
Oh, I didn't get it. I
Yeah,
did
my
twice as much damage.
coworker
Yeah.
called me. So I had to take it.
No worries.
Do do do.
Need to know thing.
Mm-hmm. Throw a weapon. Cane or lance. Can you only buy the blue currency in this game?
What?
You know, like there's a
What you
blue.
talking about, like the gold?
Yeah, like there's a gold currency. There's like a blue one.
You can only. Yeah, that's the money you use to buy characters.
Yeah, the gold is there's
The
a
gold
blue,
is like
there's a blue currency though. Is I'm saying is that the only way to get it is actually getting money, or can you earn
Oh,
that?
are you talking about that egg, the eggy thing? It looks like a cracked egg.
No, right now it has like a
Oh
what
no,
is it? A mastodon,
no, that's
whatever.
yeah, the mammoth mastodon. You had to buy those. That's your.
Okay.
Those are spent coin. Like all the stuff you see on featured, you had to pay for that real
Okay.
money.
No, okay, I got you.
I don't think you can. Yeah, you
I
can't.
didn't know if you could earn that doing some kind of like side quest mission or something like or battle pass shit, whatever.
No, they'll put ones that are featured on sale though. Sometimes they'll make them where you can buy them with coins though,
Yeah,
or with in-game coins,
gotcha. I was just
or
double
that
checking.
other like practice. Yo, whoa, whoa, whoa.
oh, I know. Where is it?
Oh,
Uh,
man. Okay,
that was,
good.
oh, it's so miserable. Use my environment to create chaos.
There's a version without the weapons or without the environmental stuff. I think.
Yeah, that's a simple one. I want madness.
Madness.
This is madness.
Is GameStop.
You got that? Yeah, sword. You can't see anything.
We picked J Unit.
Yeah, I never used.
We can. He's really hard to use too, but he's also very cool.
If you don't mind your business. It's like, what's that from Kung Fu Panda? That's a tire from Kung Fu Panda.
Get out of here.
Damn it. Damn it, Bobby.
Oh, it's on. It's like, see, that's exactly what happened when you don't mind. I got teeth.
I got double stickied.
You did too.
Got too many freaking items on here. I should just cut them back.
Okay.
Yeah, that was get that one.
You can do another up special attack in the air like that if you hit the opponent. Like when you make contact, it lets you do another one. And then there's other rules too. Yeah.
Yeah, his moves are kind of like. I got a lot closer. He doesn't move. He doesn't.
God damn it. I killed myself too.
Oh, look. Nice.
Oh, that works. Okay.
Boom. Oh, I missed. Boom. Big boomer.
Back.
Oh, fuck. Boosh. Oh, what? Was I out of
All right,
fight?
that was a good move.
I didn't think it was out of jumps.
That combo.
Oh, I took it. Sometimes, like when you get hit by a certain attacks, you lose a jump.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay, because I was like, I didn't think I had. I thought I had a jump left. I'm like, no.
Or maybe you used it. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's already.
It does. That's why. Same thing happened to me when I was in the air.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything because he was like.
Series really fun.
I got like a couple more games, and then I'm gonna probably head off. My girlfriend just got home, so I'll probably go hang out with them and do all that kind of shit. So maybe I'll be on later. If you guys are still on, maybe I'll come back on.
Yeah, I won't. I'll be
20 minutes, maybe.
gone. No. Maybe. Graham crackers.
Mmm.
Honey bunches of scrotes.
Mmm, yummy.
Honey bunch of scrotums. That's my favorite kind of cereal.
The breakfast of champions, some would call it.
Honestly, that cereal's pretty good. I like part of it. Just wait.
Ooh, I passed
I
that
dodged
shit.
that. Whatever.
Oh no, I thought I killed myself because of my game lag. Fucking silly. Silly. Then why don't you hang out with them right now?
Yeah, he's spending the night at EJ and Emmett's.
So
And he can't. He has to stay there for a little while.
Hell was that?
What the hell was that?
Oh.
You can charge it.
Oof.
Money.
Oh my god.
That was a money shot from a distance.
Call that Peyton Manning.
Oh.
That was me.
That
was me, baby. I stole your shit. Steal your kill. What? No. Absolutely fucking not stealing nobody's kid. I'm done. I'm done. I'm fine with what I got. No mo.
It's like blast to the past right there.
Oh shit. Boom.
Right.
Da, 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 da. That's a pretty cool concept. Czechoslovakia company is turning old tires into noise barriers to help save 300 million from being in landfills being wasted. That's a pretty good idea. It's a nice way to think outside the box.
Yeah. Bump, maybe.
Holy shit.
Yeah, can you already? How are you still alive?
Because we're inside of the Thunderdome, bro.
Czechoslovakian.
Dan was in the black.
Who stands a lot? Ooh. Garlic. There's someone I haven't used yet. But this dude, he looks. I don't know if I'm gonna like him, but we'll try him. Or Roz.
Over. He's pretty mid tier. But he does have an axe.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I picked him.
One of the OG characters, too.
Where's Joe at? Where's Al? Can't find it.
Barzara. Barza. Asuru. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Jesus. You guys are double teaming me. It's not fair. Just kidding.
With that flash and sleep. Nope.
Huh? Did not mean to do that.
Just flash things. Oof.
Damn,
Double
son.
combo. Oh, that was like a 1 month slitter there. Oh, missed him.
Oh, shit.
That's a nice little dash he has there.
My guy?
Get a nice
Or
group.
your guy?
Yeah.
My guy with the. It's like he has like a double hit to it.
Yeah. Good one. And
Oh, fuck. Boom. Click, click, boom.
no. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, am I gonna? I did. Oh, I'm making it back from that. Oh.
I can step up. I killed myself now.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, my God. No. Oh, fucker. I couldn't stop that one. Oh, lordy. Oh, no. Then my internet died. Oh.
Oh, they're fighting to their death.
Alrighty then. If you guys are hanging out a little
Alrighty.
bit, maybe I'll jump back on. If not, have a good night, everybody.